Welcome
Hi, everyone.
to Park Hypers Podcast, episode 3. It's a good one today. We are talking. So the main focus of today's episode will be Epic Universe.
Honestly, we've talked about we are avid Disney fans, but we are park hypers. We want to talk about all of the parks, and it would be wrong for us not to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yep.
The incredible elephant in the room.
Absolutely. By the last time we recorded a podcast, so it was 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And nothing had come out. There was absolutely zero coverage. The only coverage that I saw was, I think, employee, friends and family of employees were able to go and experience it. But it was like,
even then it was lacking.
Yep. It was no phones.
Like NDA,
Yep.
sign it. The media with like the influencers, at least we're getting served something.
Yeah. There was absolutely no filming whatsoever. And I think I saw a couple of people say that they were like, okay, phones were put away. And it was so hard for them because they just wanted to take out their phone and take a picture because of how amazing it is. So
I couldn't imagine. I don't know what I would do because seeing all the videos and photos, it would be so hard not to just snap a little photo of it, especially because like you want to be able to show people the immersive energy of it all. But thankfully now we're getting closer. They're having preview days. So there are more things that have been released, but we're going to get all into that today because I just want to go so bad.
Me too.
Yeah.
It really does. Like, I've never been to Florida. And now with Epic Universe coming out, I can't lie. If someone gave me the opportunity to go to Disney World or to Epic, I would probably pick Epic right now.
100%. My mom and I are going next week to Disney World, and we were out here trying.
I didn't know that.
Yep, next Thursday for my birthday, we're going to Disney World, but we were trying to girl math so hard. How do we get in? It was like, get an annual pass hold, like be a pass holder there, stay on property because it doesn't open until May 22nd, and it's just previews for annual pass holders or hotel guests. I want to go so bad.
It looks incredible. And now, thankfully, this past week has just been flooded with content, nonstop content.
It's making me like the fact that I was on hold for Universal for 2 hours today. I'm like this. I feel like I'm cheating on Disney, but I am glad that they have some competition. Yeah, because I feel like we're about to get like good theme parks out here because of it. So,
it's good.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I totally forgot when you mentioned that it was lockdown on the phones and on the content. It kind of reminded me how I felt when I worked at Disneyland and they were really strict about like no phones backstage. Yeah. And, it was like, you felt like, people were on the rooftops watching people at all times. Yeah, exactly. To like, jam your cell phone signal if you're going to take a photo. And so it totally reminded me of that. It was like, oh yeah, they take those things pretty seriously.
Really seriously. I didn't really even know anything about Epic Universe until recently, and it's blown up. Like, I think as of this year, I did not know that they were making this big of an expansion for their parks. Yep. And so it's I kind of like it. I kind of like that it's fast. It's like it's here. Yeah. Because Disney, on the other hand, it's like, okay, in 5 years, you're going to get a new ride. And I'm like, I'm not excited because right now there's something new and shiny in front of me.
Absolutely.
And it looks really good.
I told Kate that, my wife, I showed her it was before the cast previews. Yeah. And I showed her these, they're barely like any YouTube videos on it. And it's all just concept art, right? Or like construction videos or something. And then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, I'm like, here it is. And she was like, what? Hold on. Right. It's already here. I'm like, yeah, it just kind of popped out of nowhere.
It's brilliant.
I think it's been 3 years in the making. And, but for us as more of Disney fans, it kind of came out of nowhere. And I love it because normally, like you said, there's these, the weight of it all, right? You sort of get the preview and you go, oh, you speculate for years and years on end. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, by the time you get to it, you're just exhausted. You're like, 100%. Oh my gosh, I just want this thing to be here. And then your expectations of it could maybe be higher. And then maybe you do it and it's like it could exceed those expectations or maybe just meet them or maybe they're a little bit below expectations because you've had so long to think about it. Now all of a sudden Epic is here and it's just let's go.
And it's just, I want to go so bad because we were talking about how Disneyland, the new parks they've given us, they haven't given us new parks. They've given us Star Wars Land, right. Galaxy's Edge, and Marvel. So it's just little pockets. But even then, like Epic Universe is an immersive 5-park, like it's, 5 lands within the park. Mm-hmm. So that is huge. And so I'm thinking Disney has released, like at Disneyland, I think they got approval from Anaheim to build that new fantasy area, like a new fantasy park. But even then, like, we have no information if that's actually going to happen. It could be decades from now. And so I do feel like Disney is like, even with the example of Coco's coming 2029, that is 4 years away. You can keep that hush hush because I don't think it's going to build hype. I think Universal did it brilliantly, where it's like, people know it's happening, but we're gonna just serve it to you on a silver platter because that's what people want. I don't want to sit here and wait for it. The How to Train Your Dragon area, I want to meet Toothless so bad.
The Isle of Berk looks like, really good.
So good. And the track, like the coaster where it like, hops the track. It looks great. Mm-hmm. So
a lot of new ride enhancements or
different
like
concepts we haven't seen.
Absolutely. And that's what like blows my mind, where it's like, hey, we haven't seen this kind of a ride system before. And from what I can tell, the Battle of the Ministry is also one of these groundbreaking kind of technology rides, which is going to be so incredible. I haven't seen, of course, that one's under lock and key, right? I've seen
nothing. I've only seen the little Donkey Kong where it was just the one outside thing where it hops the track. I've seen nothing else of any other ride.
I saw a small POV for that ride, but I actually think that right now you can't film on the Monsters Unchained ride and also the Battle of the Ministry. And so, but I have seen ride footage of the Monsters Unchained, which it just looks insane. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody had those meta glasses.
Yeah, they're like, they're never gonna know.
It's like they won't know, right? They can't take. They can't tell me.
They're prescription. Don't take. Like, I have to see. Well, but also like Disneyland, we had Splash Mountain turn into Tiana's Bayou, which is great. I love it, but it's again that same concept that they are just overlaying rides and. To some point, yes, it is evolving the park, but I want new. It's kind of going back to the live like remakes of movies. Sure. Okay, great. I've seen it before though. I want something different. Yeah. And I think Universal is really using that to their advantage because Universal isn't just taking the Jurassic Park ride and just revamping it to make it Harry Potter. They're actually reimagining all these different ride concepts, and I think they got an in. And I honestly need Epic Universe to come to Universal Hollywood. I don't know where there is room.
Oh, I know, right?
I'm like, tear it down, bulldoze it. Right? I don't care. I need this land. And I'm not a big Universal person, but I'm literally about to go renew my annual pass for this freaking park.
I was going to say, I have seen that since now Disney has discounts on some of their hotels, that the strategy, so to speak, could be to stay on property at a Disney resort because you're going to get the discount and then just hop on over to Epic.
Which is usually the opposite. Which it's like, usually you stay at like Universal because you're like, it's a cheap hotel. Literally when we were looking, the cheapest hotel was like $300 and I'm so used to them being like $150 a night. And I'm like, they are so on it for these discounts because right now the previews, if you stay on property, you can get a ticket to go to Epic Universe. I'm like, they are brilliant. Yeah,
I think that that the hotel, I think it's like the Helios Hotel.
The Helio Grand Hotel.
Goodness. I love the idea of the hotel basically being in the theme park.
It's kind of like Grand California. Exactly. And it's the most elite Disney park because you're right there. And when I was looking at the prices, it's rather reasonable for being basically in the park. I mean, obviously they have their outrageous rooms or like during peak, but it's about like $340 a night.
That's honestly not that bad.
That's not that bad to be able to just like go in and out. That's like the Grand used to be $340. Obviously you can get like a cheaper hotel, but to get that grand experience for $340, Disney hotels, they're now like $600, $700.
I always, like, for the longest time was like, okay, comparing the Disneyland hotels, I always said that Paradise Pier, now Pixar, was the $350 and then Disneyland was the $450, and then the Grand California was like $550. That was like a general. I was just like, yep, it's like 3, 4, 5 basically, and now it's like you look and it's like, oh no,
you're lucky if you get like the Disneyland hotel for $500
to $450 to $550 to like $700 a night, and it's like, oh gosh, that's.
And you're not even in the park. The Epic Universe one I do love because I feel like they've made the hotel around like you're in the universe still, like Grand California. And yes, you can walk into the park, but I feel like there's that disconnect a little bit. I mean, it's my favorite hotel ever, but they like the bars are inspired so you can see like over, Epic Universe, and like all of the views are incredible. And I'm like, they really outdid themselves.
They really did. And you know what that we haven't seen yet is it at night, because that apparently that's when the Epic Universe like comes alive. And that's one thing that I'm like, yeah, that we haven't seen anything like that. And I guess it's supposed to be just outrageously awesome, which is incredible. So I watched somebody's POV kind of their hey, VIP day, and we'll get you in, and you vlog the whole thing basically, but they had to be out at 7, I think it was.
Oh, so right before it got dark.
Yeah, right before it got dark. Ooh. So they couldn't film it, and I haven't seen anything on what it looks like at night, but I think that's when you'll get that entirely different experience. And I was listening to the story of it's going to go from, because it's very like planetary, right? With all the different kind of solar systems or the different, right? And so it's going to go from, the solar is going to shoot an arrow to the moon, and it's going to be this whole spectacle. Dang. And it's like, but what I love about Epic is that it's not just like, hey, here's 5 different IPs and it's just, they're stuffed in their own lands. They went that extra mile to integrate story into the land, which that to me is interesting, because it's like, oh, what's the lore behind this land, this new adventure. And I love that they have a story with it, because the VIP tour guide that I was watching, don't know her name, but shout out to you, you're incredible. It was awesome. There was a story with every single part of that land and the attention to detail. So it's incredibly exciting, because it's not just like, here's an IP slapped onto something else, and and let's just roll with it. It is like, no, we really took the time to craft this land, and it has a story, and the rides are awesome. They're groundbreaking.
I think the storytelling aspect is huge. Being somebody who's like, when I did the college program, I feel like everyone went and got a Universal Pass, because they're like $350 for a Florida resident. So we got them, and it felt like you were in the Midwest, or at like Mall of America, or like you were just somewhere at like a Six Flags, where it's like you walk around and there are rides. There was no rhyme or reason. I didn't feel connected, because Disneyland or Disney World, you walk in, it's like I'm in Fantasyland. Sure. Like there are stories everywhere around me. There it was like, oh, there's the Jurassic ride. Oh, over there's Harry Potter. Like it was really disconnected. You didn't feel immersed. Like I felt like I was at the difference of like walking through City Walk to Universal. It didn't feel like I was actually there. They're going Disney level storytelling, and it took them long enough, because I mean, like it's been right in front of you that you needed to do storytelling. And I think that's what's going to set it off, because every picture I've seen or every video I've seen, it's like crazy how you can go from literally like How to Train Your Dragon to then now Harry Potter. It feels like Disney, but it's now a whole new, all the rides are new, all of the food, the merchandise even. I'm like, I literally want to go so bad, and I'm excited to see the hotel. They start opening April 16th, I believe, so I feel like we're gonna get even more info, and I'm gonna be literally like 5 miles away. I'm gonna be out there at that gate begging on my knees.
Okay, we gotta get like a GoFundMe.
We
gotta get some donations.
Gosh, if you're at Universal,
I just want to like shower you with funds, so that you could go, because it's like, oh, I need to hear about this,
right? And so anybody at Universal, please hook us up, because I just want to go so bad. I want to see it. And I also love that there's not a lot of, I've seen, like you've said, there's like walkthroughs and everything, but I love how new it is that I can't even comprehend what it's going to be like. because I feel like with Disney, I'm like, oh, it's like that ride, or oh, it's like that land. And I feel like this is completely different, where you have no expectations really of what you're going to go experience. It's kind of like when I went to Disney Paris. They have Space Mountain, which is nothing like ours. And it's so fun to go on those new rides that like literally you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's been lacking a little bit at Disney. I'm hoping they change and bring new rides and bring new lands, but right now Universal's killing it.
I miss that. You're absolutely right. Like go back when you first went to one of these parks at Disneyland. For me, it was absolutely Disneyland.
Yeah.
And that you're in the ride queue and the anticipation of what is about to come.
Right.
You're like, I have no idea. I'm nervous. I'm excited. And all of the other emotions in between. And it's just like, you have no idea what it's like. And to experience a ride for the first time it's awesome.
It's
incredible.
Awesome.
And it's been a while. The Rise of the Resistance,
I feel like that was our last big one, to be honest.
It was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Where people were jumping for joy, and you like were actually like, that is literally incredible. And I feel like ever since that, we slightly have gone not really downhill. We just haven't really gone anywhere. We haven't gotten anything. They've introduced new entertainment a lot, new shows, new parades. But even with the new parades, it's Paint the Night. Love Paint the Night. It's my favorite thing. I'm glad they're bringing it back. But it's just like, can we have something new? Because if Universal is able to do it, I believe Epic Universe, it said it was a $7 billion park.
Oh, I believe it.
Like, that's insane.
Probably more. When I was at Disneyland, I had heard so we did a walkthrough of the Radiator Springs ride, and they were saying that that ride, it's just one ride was like $1 billion because of how complicated the ride system is. And it was like, oh, I did not know that. And each one of the cars, it was like $1 million. Each single ride vehicle was like $1 million. So it was. I got to talk about that. I'll talk about that experience during my Disney College program summary, because that was one of the coolest things that I've ever done. But yeah, Rise and Mickey's Runaway Railroad at Disneyland are only the two rides really that have come out recently that in my opinion are like, I'm so glad that they have them in Disneyland. But yeah, it's like that was the last time. But I feel like even
Railway, that was at Disney World for probably a solid like year. And so I'm like, I want something. I think Cars was a great example of like, Galaxy's Edge, yes, but Cars was like, that's how you do it. Like, you have multiple rides, you have the food, you have everything. In Galaxy's Edge, they do that as well. But I want like another ride. I want something.
Me too.
But also now I'm over here like with Epic Universe. Do I want you to put a new ride in Galaxy's Edge, or do I want you to just like make a whole new park?
Oh, this is a perfect segue.
Ooh!
A perfect segue, because this week I thought, how cool would it be if we put on our Imagineering caps and we were tasked with creating a brand new park. So not just, adding on to an existing park. We're talking like a completely brand new theme park. And you have to come up with, now Epic Universe is 5 lands.
Yep.
So I said, how cool would it be if we just did a 5 land park? We'll just start off with that.
Yeah.
And then
we can expand.
you name the land or come up with its theme, and then come up with at least one ride.
I'm so excited.
Per land. So that was the idea for this week. And honestly, I think I messaged you about it on Wednesday.
No, honestly,
today's Friday.
Yeah.
And I think I only thought about this for about a day. So it's not like we've been sitting on this for a long time. It literally just like,
this is like, we're
brainstorming.
You're at your office and they're like, you need to come just pitch like 5 brief ideas. Yep. Like for me, I got the themes down, and I gotta speak through my ideas here. But I think there's magic here. So Disney, honestly, I'm telling you, actually, I will say, when I was brainstorming, I got down a Reddit rabbit hole, but it wasn't even Reddit at the time. It was from 2010, okay? And it was like, if you could go to, if you could make a Disney like land, what would you do? Yeah. And all of these people were like, and this one comment got me. It was, I want them to make a Star Wars land and a Marvel land. It was in the same comment. And then right below it said, Disney, if you do this, don't sue me. Or like, I'm like, honestly, Disney, take our ideas and run with it. Just 100%. Invite us to the opening of it for the media event. But I'm excited here. As we did not share.
No.
We don't know what each other's ideas are. I will say some of mine towards the end. They're a little niche.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Same here.
If Epic Universe can do it, we can do it, okay?
That was before we get into it, the challenge of this was...
Yeah.
It was almost like, okay, it's so easy to be like a backseat driver and just be like, oh, well, whatever they do is trash. And, everybody can complain about what they're going to do next. And it's so easy to do that. But man, when you actually put on like a hard hat, a hypothetical Imagineering hard hat, you're like, okay, I'm going to do, let's actually think about this.
Let's be in their position.
It was a little challenging because you have to think about, okay, is this land going to be immersive enough? And do we have enough to where the story makes sense and the land makes sense and the rides make sense and something that people are going to gravitate towards? That's actually kind of hard. Like through this exercise, I found that it was like, okay,
it kind of like humbled you.
This might be a popular ride or a popular IP for me. But then when you're talking about an entire country, an entire world, you're like, okay, but is an entire, world of people going to want to come see this? So that was the challenge of this was trying to fit, what's not just popular in our hearts, but for the hearts of many.
And I will say, I contemplated doing, and we can touch on it like after we go over our, like the ones we did choose, but so on that of like, I sit here and I'm like, Disney, like, I don't want you to like overlay the ride, like do a land. And then sitting here, it's like, actually that wouldn't work because it would be a great ride, but the land is like fantasy land. Like it's just all immersive and everything. But I didn't do a Marvel land. I tried to stay away from like anything that is current. Yep. So, but I'm eager to hear what you decided. Hey. Two of them, I will say, as you're saying, they are niche for you, but wouldn't work for a country. I think I was selfish and I said, you know what? The countries are going to love this one. Yep. Who wants to start?
Ladies first.
Okay. My first one, and I stand the most confident in this answer. Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, well, spoiler alert.
What?
Did
you put Wreck-It Ralph?
I did. I have. That's so funny you mentioned that. That is my number one. I'm not even kidding you. When I first thought about this list,
it was an automatic.
It's the first option on my list. Wreck-It Ralph.
I just think, here's the thing. Another part that was difficult for this is I've seen these movies, right? Girl, I literally, Girlie was here, like sitting here thinking, what is the plot of Wreck-It Ralph? I'm like, what is, like, I know she's a glitch. So I had to like do some brainstorming. Okay, my ride, name to be determined, but something of like malfunction mayhem. It's really going to stick with the idea that she's a glitch and you're going to like help her, but you're going to basically be like glitching through the different areas. Cause I know in Wreck-It Ralph 2, there's like that alien land where they're like shooting people. Or is that in Wreck-It Ralph 1?
The first one.
They have that.
Hero's Duty is the Call of Duty type bug land, the crossover.
So that's kind of the idea I want it to be. And the hard part about this was I wanted to like make new ideas because I'm sitting here saying Epic Universe is so good at like designing these things, but I'm not an engineer. So it's like a mixture. I like the idea at the end where you're going to be in like a little go-kart and you are racing, but I do want it to be interactive. So I think a screen is needed. Yeah. But that's what I imagine. Kind of like the Guardians ride at Disney World. You've not been on it, but
Rewind, right?
Like Rewind.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Cause in Rewind, you're spinning, you're going all over, but I want it to be Wreck-It Ralph. So that would be the ride. But the land itself, I think, would be the most beautiful thing ever because you would walk in and it would be so immersive with all of the candy, everything. I was extra and I put food, the pancakes that they feed the bunny.
Yes, yeah, the pancakes.
I feel like they have to have a little stand.
Yes.
And then
that's so genius though.
Right?
I love that.
Just like a pancake.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it could be like it's a bunny, right?
It's a bunny.
Yeah, that could be like the logo.
The logo is just
it's perfect.
It's
actually
perfect.
that is genius.
Like it's solid. But then also I think I was hungry. I'm gonna put a picture here. There's a scene where Wreck-It Ralph, there's like these, it said like their game was unplugged. So it's like, help me. And he's holding these big cherries.
Yeah. Pac-Man.
Yes. But the cherries look so freaking good that I'm like, I want some sort of like thing where like you only have, your food is really, really big. So it makes you look like a giant or something, or vice versa. And then my merch idea was how Vanellope always has cute little candies in her hair. I want to do like a Bippity Boppity Boutique, but you become a little like
Sugar Rush Racer.
A Sugar Rush Racer. Yes!
I love that.
Yeah. So that's my idea with that one. So again, it needs to be worked out the kinks, but clearly Wreck-It Ralph.
No, that's why it's my number one.
Yes.
There's a lot that you can do with the Wreck-It Ralph world. And I was just going to say too, Tappers. He goes Tappers the game with root beer. Oh man, how is that not like Disney's answer to butterbeer at Harry Potter World? I mean, that's just like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And that's, I love those ideas, all of them. And actually, I was gonna let you go through your entire one.
Oh no, I think we need to bounce. I want to bounce back and forth. Yeah, I don't want to go through all of them because I want to see.
So I had also Wreck-It Ralph theme.
Okay, beautiful.
And then I was thinking though that my attraction was going to be called Sugar Rush Racers.
Okay, cool.
Because it's like Mario Kart. And it's like,
yes, it's
incredible. Like, I think they have it right there. And also, speaking of which, this is another one of my pet peeves. Disney Gaming needs to build a Sugar Rush Racers right now.
I could go on a whole podcast about Disney Gaming. Like, you have so much potential, and you're literally giving us that Disney Illusions, which is a makeshift Super Mario that is literally not it. So I
would buy that game right now because
Instantly.
I grew up with Mario Kart, but my daughter went through a Wreck-It Ralph phase where, I mean, we watched that movie over and over and over again. And I will say this, normally Disney movies or any movie in general will just get old. It's like over time. Wreck-It Ralph is a really good movie. So the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, wait, no, this is an amazing land, because you could have, here's what my idea was for a Wreck-It Ralph land. It was going to be, you would go like how Epic Universe has the portals. You go through the portal, but then it goes into the land, but then standing in front of you, picture this, are like these rectangular, kind of like skyscrapers. I don't know, maybe they're 3 stories tall or something like that, or maybe 2 stories tall, but they look like the arcade machines. So it looks like you're in Flitwick's arcade. And then you walk through the arcade. Like, let's say you're going to go to Sugar Rush Racers, right? You're going to walk into the game, and then it's going to be Sugar Rush land.
And then you're transported to it.
And then that's where the ride is, because then this is like future proofing you, because then you could go through, maybe you could have like the internet section, right? Because you could be like in Wreck-It Ralph 2 where Ralph breaks the internet, right? He goes through the Wi-Fi, and then boom, you're transported to the internet. And it could be like the internet, and then you kind of go through into each different game. And then my idea with this one was also going to be that there was going to be Tron, because that's also a game, and it just fits. It's like,
fits. Hey, that's what I mean, is like literally you can just build off of that so easily. And they already have Mario Kart, because that's what kind of got my like wheels turning. I was like, the Universal, I went to Nintendo World and Hollywood, and I went on the Mario ride. It's good. It's not perfect, but I'm like, Disney could make it perfect for sure. Yep. So I feel like we're on the same wavelength.
Well, I'm impressed, because again, we did not share
this at all. And the fact that our number ones, and our rides are pretty similar. We want to be, because my whole plan was like, at the end, you're a Sugar Rush racer. Yep. So I feel like that checks out.
Before we leave this land, because I'm already in love with it.
Please make it.
My idea was like, how cool would it be? Exactly like you were saying. How could we make the guests Sugar Rush Racers, right? Yes. And I was thinking about merch, and I was thinking about all that stuff. And then I was thinking, wait, hold on a minute. what if we had like a lightsaber building type Savi's workshop? Because in Wreck-It Ralph, when he's helping Vanellope make her car, it's like an arcade game. So imagine if you let guests play this arcade game and then it builds their car. And I'm like, okay, hold on a minute here. This is literal gold. This is solid gold, because not only
they've not done this.
You have the droids, right? You have the droid depot. You have Savi's workshop. You let people build their own takeaway souvenir.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is utter genius, because it fits with the movie too. And it's like, when you watch that movie, you could be like, I built my own car.
And
I baked.
Exactly what we were wanting, because Epic Universe, it's like that immersion. It's like, I want my experiences, the entertainment. I want it to feel like I'm literally there. And that would be exactly it.
Yes. Can I also, I'm going to put on my Imagineer hat here, because my dream for Sugar Rush Racers was that you would, and I know Imagineering could figure out how to do this, but imagine, so in Wreck-It Ralph, I don't know if you remember, but there's a secret hidden spot that goes into the mountain where Vanellope hides out.
Yes.
How amazing would it be if that's part of the ride and it looks like you're headed towards a wall, and then boom, you go through into it, and it's like, that was cool. And then it has like, maybe you do a spiraling, motion, because that's exactly how the movie is.
This is so iconic.
But it's with the Coca-Cola and the Mentos. And so the Mentos are falling, and there's water like exploding up or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I just want to go on this ride right now. But then also I was thinking, how cool would it be if you had like a Cybug pop out, and that's maybe the story of the ride. And I'm like 50-50 with this, because I'm also like, you could also have Hero's Duty be its own arcade game that you go into.
Yeah.
So you could have, remember I was saying in the hub, you could have
you like pick where you go. Yeah.
I'm like, how cool would it be though, if in the Hero's Duty land, you go in, and let's say it's like a mix between Toy Story Midway Mania and Buzz's Astro Blasters.
Yeah.
Where you get to, and Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man, I was going to say that one. Yeah.
Imagine it's like, hey, you're playing Hero's Duty now, and you get to get all the Cybugs, and you're trying to get the medal,
is great.
The hero's medal. Yeah. And then you could have hero medal merch. Anyway, we need to,
honestly,
this
one could be good. This one, actually, please run with it. It's just, the thing is, what I love is that it's never ending, because you and I had we probably spent a day talking about this stuff. This is so brief. They could do so much, because we want them to do more than one ride. I would love a ride where it's like, okay, I'm just immersed in it, then one where it's interactive, like how they have Toy Story Mania or whatever. That would just be literally impeccable. And also, I'm not sure how they would do it, but Star Tours, it has different stories. And I feel like since you're in a game, it might be you never know what you get. Sure. And so I feel like it could
different
be
levels.
Cool, different levels of it to make people want to come back. So, gosh, we're off to a good start. Disney, you need to make this happen. We're literally telling you what you need to do for you to compete with Epic Universe here. Don't know the budget or how to do it, but that's why y'all get paid the big bucks. Okay, I feel like
land number 2.
Okay, I went first, so you should go now for yours.
My second land was Atlantis.
I did not pick it, but I'm so glad you picked it because towards the end, it was I did have to figure out what ones to pick or not.
Sure.
That one's a good one.
I know. I had some fringe ones. And in fact, I wrote down my okay, it could be this, or it could be this, or it could be this. But ultimately, I think that Disney fans, and especially us boomer ones, really, really, really love Atlantis. Yeah. I mean, that is one of those movies, and it might not have blown up at the box office, but I swear, of any of the live action remakes that they're making these days, I always see people post about Atlantis being if you're gonna remake a movie,
Do it with this.
Tom Holland is going to be Milo Thatch.
Yes.
And then Zendaya is going to be Keita. And I mean,
honestly,
it's just like, I mean, listen, exactly. And The Rock is going to be the doctor. I mean, it's literally like, okay, there you go. I just did your casting
for you. Exactly. They'll take it.
So I was thinking that's just a world. Back to what I kind of the preface of this whole project was building a land that it's like a land. It's a living land. There's probably no better example in all of my options than I almost gave away my last one here. Excuse me. Atlantis, slip up there. Atlantis is like the perfect example of like a living land because you could have like those, it's like a mix between old and new.
Give it kind of Pandora. Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's got like the tech, right, of their ride vehicles, their flying ride vehicles, but it's like it's old. It's like Aztec meets, Tomorrowland,
I'm
right?
sad this isn't
So
real.
yeah, so I know, right? So my attraction, I was gonna call it Journey to Atlantis.
Classic.
Because just the movie itself could be an incredible ride. Now, I kind of go back and forth because I'm like, oh, it's almost like Galaxy's Edge, right? Where you're kind of in a time period, right? Where you're in the sequel trilogy and it's like, oh, you kind of have to plan around that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is the ride going to be the movie or is it going to be like Tiana's Bayou Adventure where it's like it's true. After the movie and it's not just the movie. So I kind of go back and forth, but I feel like the movie of Atlantis would be the perfect ride. I mean, how cool would it be? I was just imagining it. I'm like the giant underwater, like steampunk crab thing, and you're in a submarine. It's like, oh, cool. Okay. Now it's calm. And then all of a sudden it's not calm.
Yeah.
And then, you find Atlantis and then, all the mechs join together and I just think that there's so many cool
that
elements
land would go hard
where that ride would be like definitely the e-ticket attraction.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Would it be like, you think like thrill or like more chill? Or like it just like depends on like where you're at.
I have a tough time deciding whether I want things to be like, because you think about it, you're like, well, I really like the story of this one. Maybe you could have a lot of these themes I feel like could be Rise of the Resistance type rides where there's movements and there's screens and there's a good combination. I know a lot of people are like less screens, they make me sick. And I agree to some extent.
Yes.
I think you could have 2 rides in this land. I think you could have, and I haven't, I'm just coming up with this on the fly here.
Love it.
But when Milo's learning how to fly those machines and, they put the crystal in, I think you could have a roller coaster ride that's based off of like the
test run.
Yeah, his test run. And how cool would it be is, now I'm literally coming up with this on the fly. You could have the crystals, right?
Yes.
And it's like, it'd be so cool.
No, the merch, like Disney, we're giving you money here.
So that's literally as far as I got. But I really do think that Atlantis as a land.
I can picture it being actually beautiful. The mock-up, you would just be like, oh my gosh. And I think that's the thing that's lacking is like, we see the mock-ups for like the Monsters Inc. ride. I'm like, okay, that looks like a cool ride, but give me a land. Like it doesn't even exist and I can picture myself walking into it.
Yep.
And I love also that this park would have that and Wreck-It Ralph. Like I do love the variety of it. Okay, that's incredible.
All right. What's your number 2?
Number 2, Hercules.
Ah, see?
Like,
that was on my list and I'm like, I love that movie. I love it. And then what I thought about is it's a lot like Epic Universe. Epic Universe like is totally exactly.
See, I'm glad though that I didn't put, because I think we had very similar thought processes. So now we're at least getting more. I recently watched Hercules for the first time, probably in the last 7 to 8 months.
Really?
Like, crazy.
For the first time.
First time. Because here's the thing. I probably would say, in truth, I probably saw it when I was like 5 years old.
Sure.
But I clearly did not remember anything because when his parents just like left him at the end, I was like, that's so messed up. Like your parents and then the parents, come and get him or whatever it may be. So I went through a phase where Hercules was my new obsession. So I think it is unfortunately going to be kind of similar to a ride, but Flight of Pegasus. So I think
Genius.
it's going to be like the Pandora Flight of Passage ride, but you're on Pegasus.
Love
and
it.
I want it to be where you're going through, like you're going to like the underworld, and then you're going up all the way to Zeus, and like a big battle scene, you know. I think I want it to follow more of the movie, like you were saying, because I think that could be, it's like a perfect, it's perfect. You know, you have conflict, you have resolution. So, and I also want the smells. Flight of Passage is kind of like Soarin', how they have, you know, all of those smells in there. I just think it would be iconic. And I don't know fully in the park. I had 2 ideas. One idea was that I would love if it was like kind of, you can't really have a hill at a park, but I do want the underworld to feel like you're there, and then to have like maybe levels to it where you look up and it's like the clouds or whatever it may be. So that would be to be determined. The merch, Hercules sandals, because in the movie, like all of the Hercules stuff, it is so easy. And then
the sipper,
exactly. The food, little mortal potions, I think could be so cute. Like you could do a little cocktail thing if you wanted, and then Greek food, of course, which we don't like. Disney doesn't really have Greek food.
No.
So like it would be a whole new thing.
They just came out with the Euro burger.
Where?
At the Tomorrowland Terrace in Disneyland.
You guys might be able to. That's where you get your firework food.
I think they brought it for the Season of the Force, but you're right. You're right.
But like, you know,
not a lot.
Not a lot. It's different. So I think Hercules, again, I think there's so much potential with a ride. Like if you want to go just stereotypical, you could do like a Tower of Terror type thing, but you're going down into the underworld and then you go all the way back up and you're back with Zeus. Like I think that'd be great. And imagine if there's like little baby Pegasus like flying around. Like I'm sold. The merch. And so yeah, that was my second one. The third one actually has my heart maybe more than even Wreck-It Ralph.
Wait. Are you on to the next one?
Oh yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Oh, you got stuff for Hercules?
No. Yeah, I do have stuff for Hercules.
Okay.
So I was thinking about Hercules, and then I was just thinking about, absolutely, that is 100% a land that you could build. Lots to work with there.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about the ride too. And I was thinking about how it could be, like, I was thinking about the name, and I was like, I think I had like either like the Battle of the Titans.
Ooh.
Or like the Battle for Mount Olympus or something. It's something along
like
those
an
lines.
Battle.
Because how cool would it be to see, like, I don't know, animatronics of the Titans? I mean, it would be so cool. And like, imagine it's like Rise of the Resistance. And I know I'm going to bring it up a bunch, but I just think
it's a solid ride to work from.
It's probably the best between, it's a thrilling ride with very good immersion, right?
Yeah, people I know who don't like thrill rides love that ride.
Yes. Yep. It's got enough to where it's like, okay, this is a really fun ride, but I love the immersion of it. But yeah, imagine like you're in the queue and it's like Pain and Panic are like, you know, talking you through, you know, or like just like animatronic Pain and Panics, or that'd be so cool. And then the you could have the Hydra, you could have the Titans. Hades is iconic.
Somehow you need like the hype choir. I forget what they're called, but you know,
the Muses.
Yep, you need those there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Love the Muses.
Oh gosh. No, I see Hercules could give that full on thrill. Like, I don't know, it's giving like a teenager's dream to go there, because it's like the animatronics, the battle scenes, that's really what it's about. And I think it's different because it is fantasy-esque.
Yes.
You know, it's like mythological, but like it's not Wreck-It Ralph, where it's like cutesy, like candy and all that stuff. I think it could be really cool. And like you were mentioning with Epic Universe, and that's when I like did more digging into Epic Universe. I'm like, I think it could be done well where it's not too Disney cartoony. Like they could just make it seem like I just got transported there in that time.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I'm just in the, like, I do like the ride, like I was mentioning, to be based on the movie, but I think the land itself, you could feel like you're just, you know, you're just transported there.
And Greece is just, the actual Greece is awe-inspiring. It's actually one of the places that I haven't been to Europe, but if I'm going to go, it's Italy, Greece are on my top 2. And it's just, they haven't made a land that is based off of Greece. And so how cool would it be, like you just said, with like, the buildings are just awe-inspiring.
Everything,
So
yep.
it wouldn't be hard. And that's why I had this land kind of locked in the back of my head. Cause I was like, man, this would be a cool place to have immersion, because
100%.
it's there. There's when you're trying to come up with an idea for an entire land, you want it wants to be like, you want it to be a good idea to start off with, but then it gets better as like, you start to think about it and it's like, wait, no, this actually gets really, really good. And that's Hercules is a land that I think could be absolutely incredible.
Well, especially because I appreciate that if you made the land, you could do different dining that's not in the movie. You could do a ride that's not based on Hercules at all. Like, I don't think it necessarily needs to be called like Hercules Land.
Sure.
But I think something that like this mythological land is something Disney has not done at all. And I think it's an untapped market for sure.
Okay. You got number 3. Number 3.
She's my favorite. And I go back and forth where I'm like, okay, I think it is for our park, but it could also fit in Epcot. But we're going to say it's for our park.
Okay.
The movie Brave. I want a Brave land.
Oh, yeah. Merida is your favorite, isn't she?
Merida is my favorite ever. Hear me out, y'all. Scotland itself is stunning. And maybe that's why I just want something different from Disney that we've not seen before. So my ride was the Wisps of the Forest. So I really love the part of the movie where she's following the wisps, and it has, the witch or not the witch. What is it? Little potion maker. She is a witch, right? Wouldn't you classify her that?
Yeah.
And so
it's Boo from Monsters Inc. that people theorize.
Really?
Oh, there's how all the Pixar movies.
Oh yeah, well, like that Ariel, like her parents are frozen.
It's
like
she's all interconnected. Yeah. I swear I saw somewhere that was
I wouldn't doubt it. I'm about to look into this
because I think there's wood carvings of
like Sully.
Yeah, or something like that. So you got to check that out.
I'm gonna look this up.
The Pixar theory.
Those go crazy. So the thing is, and this is what I was gonna bring to the table. I'm not sure what type of ride I'd want. I know I don't want it to be a roller coaster because that doesn't fit the vibe of Brave. I was thinking more of a slow paced ride.
Ooh,
but
wait a minute. A horseback ride.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
because she
like
goes
Tron
on.
Almost.
Yeah, but Tron would be great because she goes on. What's her horse's name? I don't know. Lost it, guys. Starts with an M. But anywho, I think that would be cool that you go on the horse and you're like galloping through.
Yeah,
I think the situation would be like Tron. She's an archer.
It could be like
kind of like the Indiana Jones, where it's like there's like the woof woof.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it could be something of that. I think there's a lot to do with that one. So I just think it would be the most beautiful ride. Like when you go to Pandora, you're gonna go watch some fight. It's like the Na'vi ride. It is so beautiful. It's just the colors, and there are screens, but there's also beautiful animatronics. I think it would be one of the most beautiful rides ever.
You could also, I'm going to add to your land here because I just thought of it on the fly, but part of what makes a land immersive is like the elements that are like we were just saying, like when you're walking around, what are you looking at? And you could have the wisps that in the land that just glow.
That glow. And I want them to pop up and you hear the little whisper and everything.
It could be like,
that's the thing is this park, this land would go hard at night. Like it would be so good because I think it could be cool to have like the castle. I want you to be the land to be more like I'm in the forest. I feel like that gives more Brave type vibes, but I do think the castle needs to be there, whether there's like a dining thing there, because that is like a pivotal part of it. But I thought what would be a little bit different was for merch. I love Epcot where you actually have the stores sell what like you can buy at the country. So I think it would be cool if you get off the ride and they have like the wood carved goods or something. Like they could be someone to carve your name or carve something. I think that could be pretty nifty. And then the her little brothers that turn into bears. I want them running around.
And aren't they like muffins that they're after the whole time?
Yes, it's the ice rolls.
Yes,
and so I want to be able to sell. I want them to sell ice rolls. And then I also said that I love when there's little activities like they have. I never do it, but at Disneyland they have the shooting game. I think it'd be cool if there's like a little archery thing. Like I don't know how they would implement it because obviously safety, but like archery and horseback riding for this ride would be huge. Like, I don't know if like I'm talking, we're pulling an Epic Universe and there's a hotel here and you stay in the castle and you can go horseback riding or whatever it may be. But I feel like Braveland, when I picture it, it like would be so beautiful, like very blue, green, more dark. I think they could do it.
How cool would it be if the ride was a bit more thrilling, right? More like not as quick as Tron, because that one obviously blasts off, but something like I feel like Knott's Berry Farm literally has this ride system where it's like a horse and it like kind of locks you in. You saddle up and it locks you in from the back. How cool would it be in today's day and age to have like a bow and arrow and when you're going along the ride, there's targets that pop up and it's like it actually takes skill.
It does. It's kind of giving now like Spider-Man in a way. Like if you could somehow like have a bow connected to your thing and it triggers that like you're shooting something. That would be cool.
I just think like that's so outside the box, and it's like, you know, with that you never know, because it's like, well, how do you integrate this? We get it. These are dreams. But how cool, because it fits the land. That's exactly what she's doing in the movie, and how you could be like Merida. You could be riding along, and it's never been done before. And it's not like you're sitting, God bless Astro Blasters, but you know, it's not like you're just sitting in
100%.
Bang, bang, bang.
Like
there's
you're
really
full on like going,
and there's hacks to get, you know, to max out your score, and it's like, okay, like come on, you know, it's like where's the fun in that? Where's the skill in that? I'm sorry, I'm pretty competitive, but you know, I want to be the highest score in the ride vehicle every single time. But how cool would it be if you could be like Merida and be on horseback and be shooting targets and actually get like a high score? Right. And then my biggest thing is they need to have merch based on your high score. I mean, how cool would it be? This makes riding rides just replayable over and over, and it brings you back, and it's like, I'm gonna get.
That is me with Spider-Man.
Yeah. And
like I get angry if I leave and I'm not the top 10.
And it's like, sorry, sir or ma'am, you actually have to hit that score. I mean, it's like, you know, going to the fair anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you got to hit that high score, and then that unlocks this level of merch.
That's the one thing that Buzz does do. It has like the ranking things, or even Toy Story. But like Spider-Man, realistically, you go like pew, pew, pew. But like nobody's forcing you to go pew, pew. So like, I feel like it can be done, because it would be, I think, just enhanced with like the magic and imagination of like, you go like this and like there's a bow, whether the bow doesn't really like it sync up or something, there has to be a way to do it. And I just love Merida. I think as she was walking around, I do love also that she doesn't have a prince. And so I think like it takes that fantasy element of it, but also it's just like a gorgeous Scottish vibe. And like you could put that in any park. Yeah. Like if there was, I mean, maybe not like a Disney UK, because they'd be like, we got this at home.
Sure.
But I think it could work. So
I like that. Actually,
I'm solid on Merida.
You know, it's like right at the beginning, it's almost like, you know, you're like, oh, I could pick any princess, you know, to pick a land. But you know what? The more we think about this, that would be a cool land.
Because I thought about princesses and I was like, okay, Tangled. And then I know they're doing some Tangled things. I couldn't think in the movie what land that would be, because you know the iconic like lantern scene, you know her tower,
and it's already in Disney Tokyo Seas.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so it's like, but for a land, I don't think I could create an immersive thing where like, wow, I'm in the movie Tangled. Brave, I feel like it's the perfect combination. Apparently I was going with themes of like Hercules. It is based off the movie, but there's so much you can do to just make yourself feel like that world is immersive.
Yeah, and Brave also has magically elements 100%. To it, where it's like, and like I know Tangled the big
villain,
but like I feel like that one, you know, it is that has like a little bit more like of that sort of magic vibe. If you saw the wisp, like just the holograms of wisps that would follow you somewhere, like I like it.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Okay, what's your third?
Okay, I'm actually gonna switch my third and make it last, because I think
I will say probably save the good ones for last, because my next two ones are. Those were the three really good ideas.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. So I already teased it earlier.
Oh, yes.
So this was a tough one for me, because I put it in my 5 spot, because I was like, I'm between two here. So I'll give you my 5, and then at the end we'll kind of go over our maybe the fringe ones that just
yeah.
It's like it kind of makes sense. I'll walk you through it.
Yeah.
So I slipped it out earlier. Treasure Planet. So I got to be honest about this one. I never watched it when it came out, and I don't know why. I never seen it when it came out on DVD.
But you never seen it, period?
So I've seen it.
Okay.
But that we're talking within the year.
Okay. It's giving Hercules.
Yes. And can I just say, incredible movie.
That whole era of Disney movies.
Yes. I cannot believe that I missed out on this one. And I think it did kind of bomb at the box office. And I don't remember the reason why it bombed at the box office. Maybe there was another film that had come out at that time and it just like got totally swept under the rug. It was at that sort of end of that animation style era where it's like we had Atlantis and that was really popular at school. And then Treasure Planet came out and I don't think a single person that I hung out with talked about it. So I never saw it.
Yeah.
Embarrassing because what an absolute movie. It's incredible. So, and I'm just like, how did it take me this long to, first of all, see this movie? But then when I was thinking about this, I was like, you know what? A Treasure Planet themed land would go so hard.
It honestly, and the thing is, those were the two that were like in my brain. I didn't pick them because like I don't know enough about the movie because it's like I've seen it long ago. So I'm glad you picked it because like the animation style goes hard because I have not seen it in how long, but I remember I can visually see it in my brain and that means it's good.
Yeah. And this is what I like the most about a Treasure Planet land is that it's like we're hunting for treasure.
Yeah.
We're hunting. There's something to be found. And you could totally make a story that is like on a new planet or maybe you're going to the treasure planet, or there's just so many different story aspects that you could come up with here. That's like, hey, you saw the movie, great, but hey, we've caught wind of this other planet that's got a treasure, stash on it. So we're going to go find it. Right.
Yeah.
And what I love is that my idea with this land is it's like, okay, it'd be kind of cool to have it because it's sort of like steampunky where it's like, it's futuristic, but it's old.
The merch would go hard.
And again, merch would go hard. And my idea for the ride, which here it is, the name for the ride, I even came up with a name. A galactic treasure quest.
I'm sold.
So I was thinking about an attraction. So in the attraction, the ride style, I was thinking about a roller coaster, and I'm actually thinking of Epic Universe has in their like Helios land. They've got like the Star Racer attraction where it's like you're shooting side by side roller coaster. People love it, by the way, which I'm like, wow, they were like, this is the best roller coaster I've ever been on. So that's incredible. But I was thinking about that same sort of ride where it's like, okay, in your different lands, right? You don't want every land to have the same ride, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking my Treasure Planet land could have the thrill ride.
Love it.
And it would start off, because this is how in the movie it starts off, right? You board your ship, and then the solar sails open up, and then that's how they charge. And that's
my god.
And that's how you launch. That's good. Okay, get ready. Here come the solar sails, and it's like however they would do that, whether they start you off indoors, and it's like the sun, however it's positioned, and all the
it's kind of giving the buildup of like Space Mountain when you're taking off, like how like that type of hyper, like, okay, we're going, that would be sick.
That's exactly what I was thinking with this ride in particular, was a thrilling roller coaster.
Ooh, I love that.
And the solar sails kind of set you off, and you're off on an adventure. So
as soon as you said about like they could either do it like we're on Treasure Planet or we're like going to look at a different planet. At Universal Orlando, they have where you can, because each of the parks has a Harry Potter land.
Right.
And you board the express to go to the other land. how cool would it be is if they did something like that.
Oh, right. Where
but
it transports you.
And it transports you. Now you're at a different part. So maybe it's like a 2-part.
I like that.
Land.
No, genius.
Like, it's kind of cool.
That is genius.
And so then they when in doubt, you get 2 parks out of 1.
Yep.
And they haven't done that before. I mean, that is
cool.
one of the coolest things. And financially, it makes people like at Universal, they're like, well, I need to buy I need to buy 2 park, a hopper, because it's like in 2 different parks. So realistically, they can do it.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Dang. That's good.
The popcorn buckets would be so freaking cool. You could do like a boat. Mm-hmm. Dang.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So I'll get to it when we're done with our, but I did have one that was in competition that I really liked the idea of, but I just think that there's enough of that.
Like land.
So
yeah. Okay. I'm eager for the end to
I'll tease that.
Say the ones that we didn't do.
That's my 3rd land.
Okay.
And then I'll do the 4th land.
Mm-hmm, yep, right. 4th land.
Okay. 4th land. This is no surprise, but I really thought long and hard about this, about what would, no, that's why they're getting rid of the Muppets. Get that thing out of here. No, the RIP. So I thought long and hard about this because I was like, how would you get?
I'm so nervous.
Number 1, hype for people to come. And then enough there so that it's long lasting and it's incredible. So without further ado, my 4th themed land would be Tatooine from Star Wars.
Understood. And fair enough. Should have seen it coming.
Yep, and here's the reason. So I thought about, because I thought about you with Marvel.
Yes.
And I'm like, I wonder if she's going to put
Marvel. I almost did.
And then I'm like, do I put Star Wars? Because obviously Star Wars is my favorite.
Yes.
But the reason why I'm putting Star Wars here is because Star Wars to Disney fans is like Harry Potter to Universal fans.
That is a great way to put it.
You have to have Star Wars. Like it's a major IP. And I think that you would have to have a new Star Wars land to force people to come.
100%.
And so
even in Epic Universe, they have a new Harry Potter area.
Yep. And so I was thinking it would be Tatooine. And at first, I'm not even going to lie. At first, I was like, gosh, Tatooine? Why am I even thinking about Tatooine? It's just, a barren desert planet. But then here's the story. Now walk with me here. I'm thinking Tatooine because of this. I want to set it in the original trilogy timeline.
Okay.
And here's why. I think that Star Wars absolutely needs the legacy characters back to thrive and survive. And I'm thinking Tatooine because of a couple reasons here. The locations. So we've got Mos Eisley, Mos Espa, all right, the towns. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, right. And you could have all your types of dining and the literal cantina.
Yeah.
Okay. Which a lot of people I would love, right? The original cantina. And then I'm thinking that it could be this interactive land, right? Where you walk around and maybe there's like some barren parts of it. And, they dye the concrete, tan to look like sand or something like that. Like, I really do think they could do a really good job with this, but you're walking around and then you could actually walk to Jabba's palace. And it's like dark and, you walk into the cave. And then it's like you walk down and it's like there's an animatronic Jabba.
Yes, massive.
A massive Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of creepy because it's dark and you're like, whoa, this is kind of spooky. But then here is the cherry on top for Jabba's palace. When Luke fights the Rancor, right? There's like a trap door with a Rancor down there.
Yes.
You would get to go walk down there and just imagine like it's really, really dark.
Yeah.
But imagine like a slowly moving like Rancor animatronic. And like, I just think that the immersion in Jabba's could be so good.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe this is like the cue to a ride.
That's smart.
But my ride though, without any further ado here, is I want to name it a couple of things. So I'm between a couple names here.
Hit us with it.
So either the Beggars Canyon Run or the Boone to Eve Grand Prix.
I like that.
And they're basically the same.
Ooh, I could picture it now.
They're basically the same thing, but
the first one gives Falcon because isn't it Smuggler's Run?
Yes. Yeah.
So I like the I like the pre instead of the run.
Exactly. So imagine a pod racers ride. And this is where Disney could innovate to the next level. And I'm telling you, this could be it's probably going to be the most expensive, most craziest ride.
Breaks down
breaks down all the time. But imagine, now here's what I was thinking, right? It's all dreams. But imagine, like, let's just say like 4 people get into a pod racer and there's like maybe 12 pod racers.
Yes.
And literally the pod racers
hover.
They like, they change positions. So it's not a roller coaster where it's like the people in front are always in front.
Yes.
Maybe you're in front. Maybe somebody else goes. And imagine all the different pod racers. So it's like they all have different sounds. They all have different looks. This it could be incredible.
I feel like that's doable though, because they have like, I know it's not the same, but like radiator racers, like sometimes you're in the front, sometimes the other people are not. And if you mix it with like a trackless coaster, I mean like Rise, you're constantly moving somewhere else, it could totally be done.
Yep. So this is my like, it's an ambitious ask for them, but I am telling you, the reward would be great. The rideability on itself would just be out of this world, because you're like, hey, I was in that one. Yeah. And you don't know who's going to win. Like who's going to win. And maybe that's like, maybe it's not 12 of like, but I was just thinking like, how do you keep this thing going, and keep the rides, wait times down for sure.
But I do like the immersive energy though of the queue, because that's something Rise does very well.
And actually it's funny you bring up Radiator Springs Racers, because that is actually what I pictured, because when you're going around those canyons, it's kind of like Beggars Canyon. Yeah. And you got the Tuscan, just imagine instead of, the fenders as as the mountains, you've got Tuscan Raiders up there and they're shooting at you.
Ooh, this could be good.
Like, and then you go dodge and weave. Yeah, you go into the cave, and it's like, see, this ride could be. I mean, it's not even real, and I'm like, I need to go on
that's
this ride.
Why I'm saying though is like we're going based off like we're not just making these up out of thin air. I mean, yes, we are, but like there's some technology to it. Like, okay, we have radiator racers, just vamp that up, like just like spice it up. Work on the hover. Like it would be cool if you feel like you're actually like floating. Like you don't necessarily need to be, but like you're just like you are. I don't know. Yeah. I love that.
The other thing I thought of, and Disney, you can take my idea. Just credit me when you
Club
do
33
it.
membership, please.
Yeah, that's. I mean, not that big of an ask, right? So I was thinking, because Disney had some really cool patents to when they did Rise of the Resistance with the blasters, right? And
why did those stop?
I don't know. I didn't know they stopped.
Those never, like this is so off topic, but like I need to know when you go on Rise, when you guys go, see if they're working.
The blasters? It
used to be that it would be like they would go out and then you'd go back and then you would go out and then that thing.
Oh, okay. So they fixed those. So the like the cannons.
But they never go in and out now.
I was thinking of the actual blasters. To make so that they make it look like they're actually shooting.
Got TTT.
So here's what I was thinking. They could I know it's probably not even the same technology, but here roll with me on this one. Do you know those fans that like are spinning and then they have LEDs on them and then they can like make different images because the whole fan is spinning?
Yes.
So on pod racers up front, you have like the coupler or whatever it's called. I mean, I'm not a pod racer expert here, but the purple laser that goes between the two kind of engines, right? And how Anakin's is like, Jar Jar Binks like licks
not
it
Jar
and
Jar Binks.
it like makes his tongue all numb, right? And it's like, I gotta go back and watch the movies to see what it's called.
I feel like I'm testing my Star Wars so much right now. I'm like, I'm following.
Yep, you know it. But I'm like, how cool would it be if like the engines start up? Part of this ride is the engines start up and that beam goes across. Ooh. And maybe they could use some sort of, maybe they could actually do like that. A purple beam, or maybe you can't, I don't know. Or maybe you could create an illusion, but I swear there's probably a solution out there for it.
It could just be like a reflective mirror, something. Yeah, there has to be a thing.
How cool would it be to sit in a pod and then have all right, racers, start your pod engines, and then it's just and it's like,
it would be like Autopia. Whoa, you hear those freaking cars, but it would actually be like make sense.
Yeah, like, I can feel the engine, and starting. Each one has a personality, and then and then you go on it, and it's like it needs to happen. Yeah. So anyway, that's not even my crescendo, to be honest. So
darn it, I really should have placed these differently because mine is crazy.
Give me your 4.
Okay, so as I said, the top 3 ones are ones that I think could really work in the land. Like, even if it was like, okay, I picked 2, you picked 2, those would be like my pick from those. But hear me out. Phineas and Ferb. Okay.
That is another. Yes, it's very popular.
It's so popular right now, and that's why I think I could get away with it, because they are. I will tell you, I am a Phineas and Ferb stan. Like, genuinely, I'm not making this up. Like, when you had iTunes and you would buy TV shows, I bought for 99 cents.
99 cents.
99 cents the first and second episodes, and that's all I would ever watch. I probably have that on lockdown, that if we play it, I could tell you the whole entire spiel. They're coming out with new episodes, which I've been begging for.
Yes, I saw that.
So excited. I think you could do like an Agent P secret mission.
Yep.
And so I kind of want it to be that we're following Perry the Platypus, but my thought process was we're a disguise. Because, he puts the hat on, he puts it off. So I think somehow I don't know how we get down there, but we have Carl and the little mustache man, monogram guy, and he's giving Perry his whole spiel. And then he has to go defeat Dr. Doofenshmirtz, but we're the distraction. So we all get our little platypus hat. You know how they do the 3D glasses? I do want it to be 3D, but I want there to be a little top hat.
Yes.
So that it looks like you're wearing a hat.
Top hat, glasses, and it has the big nose and the mustache.
Yeah, exactly. It's iconic. And so I don't know the full entire thought process of it, because I just want it to be Phineas and Ferb. But I was thinking it could be something of Star Tours, where the mission always changes, because I think we've been talking about the rideability to go on it again and again. So the pod racers, I want to get on that pod, kind of like the purple teacup. I want to try and go on the purple teacup. This one, I think you could have different missions, and Doofenshmirtz's plan would be different every time. Honestly, I feel like they could do maybe not a land of it, but a ride, because they brought Doofenshmirtz for Oogie Boogie Bash.
The Halloween. Yeah,
he was a little creepy, but we can work on it. But yeah, so it'd be the briefing room and all of that. Honestly, didn't have a food or merch idea that much. I think the land, it could work. I'm picturing it more of a Toontown, more of a kids focused thing, little areas.
That's exactly what I was thinking
right?
about.
So you could have a Phineas and Ferb workshop thing or whatever it may be. I don't think it's going to be this huge, totally immersive land, but I think it could still work. Yeah.
And I think it fits too, because when you're looking at a theme park, and Epic Universe specifically, because that's what just came out.
Yeah.
You sort of look at it and you go, yeah, there's something for everybody.
100%.
There's you've got teens and adults over here with the Dark Universe stuff, and you've got the Nintendo world, and you even got the Donkey Kongs, and it's that. Those are lands that are, and the Isle of Berk too is kind of an in between, but lots of kid elements. And you're absolutely right. When you're building a theme park, it's oh, well, I should have a Toontown.
Right, exactly.
It makes perfect sense. And Phineas and Ferb, I think, fits so well because it is so popular.
I do love, though, that it would be Wreck-It Ralph, Hercules, Brave,
and Phineas. Yeah. Yeah.
So
everybody's what?
What is this?
They just spun a wheel and
right. But I kind of love it, and I feel the characters could be out, and I think people would eat it up, and you would not have to go that crazy, because it would be a Toontown where you're just in their neighborhood. Yeah. It's Phineas and Ferb. You could do the whole backdrop thing where you have the Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
Sure.
They have movies. They have the Candace one. They have the they just have so much that they could do with Phineas and Ferb, and I'm a stan for Phineas and Ferb, so I think it could work.
I googled like the most popular Disney IPs. Phineas and Ferb came up.
See, I'm not far off.
I mean, I wasn't shocked because I do know,
but
that
I am
it's really
a little
popular,
bit shocked though, because I will say Phineas and Ferb stopped a hot minute ago, and so I really think generally Disney Plus is what got it, because my best friend's son, he's gonna be 7. He actively watches Phineas and Ferb, and he'll talk to me about it, and I'm like, are they reruns? And they're not. He just watches them on Disney Plus, and so I'm like, the fact that they're coming back with new episodes, I think shows how big they are, because like they're coming back with like 106 of them.
Yeah, that never happens.
That never happens. It's usually like the Wizards reboot, where now we're gonna like target a different demographic, but this is the exact same stuff. So, yeah, I think it could be cool. That is crazy that it's that popular. It's kind of like Stitch, how it's like he's now taken off.
Merchandise walls everywhere. He is cute though. Real side tangent here. That is coming up really soon, but I just saw like Disney Store post a pastel collection of like plushes.
The Cherry Blossom one? Is it the Cherry Blossom collection? Are they like kind of pinky, like baby pastel?
There was just the different characters like Marie and Stitch.
Was there Pooh?
And Pooh.
I think.
And there was a small one and a big one.
Yes.
And whatever photo I looked at, and I was looking at that going, gosh, which one is the cutest one? And I'm like, Stitch is undeniably one of the cutest ones. Pooh was up there on that list too.
I don't know if it is that one, but it might be. It sounds, they're doing this like cutesy pastel type vibes, and it's giving like the merch that they have at like Disney Tokyo type level, where I'm like, this is good. But the trailer, when I saw the Minecraft movie, it was the Stitch one, the Lilo and Stitch, and I was like, honestly, Stitch, I see what people think about you now. Like, you're pretty cute. Like, it's pretty good.
Did you go see the Minecraft movie?
Twice.
Did you really?
Absolutely.
Are you a Minecraft girl?
Oh yeah. No, that's why.
I had no idea.
No, this is why I'm saying, when it's like I could talk about Disney gaming for so long. My cousin and I like grew up playing it, and so it's kind of been like we would play it and then like stop, and we have our like phases, and then like Fortnite is what we're into now. The Sabrina Carpenter skin is what I love. But no, that's why I like actually have strong opinions about these things, because I'm like, y'all can do it. If Minecraft can do it, because it's a block game.
I've never been to a theater that has like the fully reclined
my first time.
Leather sofas or leather armchairs. You literally could lay
all the way back. I was like, I'm never leaving this place.
I had kids, not me, but my wife. We had kids. I swear, like right when they started making movie theaters,
just impeccable.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, thanks guys for
now.
I've not been to a movie theater in like 4 years, and it's like now movie theaters are like, yeah, you got a lazy boy, and we'll bring you food, and now it's like we'll bring you drinks, and you can drink. Okay, so actually, I did the first time I drank for a movie, had a little zesty. This is related. It was for the Haunted Mansion movie. Two summers ago, I think.
Yeah. Why did that movie come out in the summer?
What an experience. Well, I think it was like
August, I think.
Yeah, I think it was what an experience.
That movie would be crazy.
I will say, like, I don't know, give the movie I
enjoyed the movie.
Middle of the pack,
I think it's like if it was on Halloween time, I'd watch it. I'm not watching it if it's not Halloween.
Exactly. But I'm telling you.
But I feel like with a little zest.
A couple of pineapple ciders and
the movie goes up.
I really enjoyed that movie. So
yeah, but no, the theaters, gosh, they're so nice. And so that's why I'm like, Disney, please come out with good movies, and like all the movies, because I just want to go back, and I usually avoid the big theaters because anxiety, and also I always feel like there's so many people, and we're so like the bubble But now these big seats and everyone is respectful and does the rule where if I'm going to book my seats, I'm going to go one away. Yeah. And I'm not going to like book right next to me. Like enjoy a little seat breaker. Okay. Social distance, I think was a great thing because I don't want you to be up on all my business. I want to be able to like set back down.
You don't want to share the armrest with somebody.
Get your own armrest. My drink's going here.
That's like the worst. Like I can deal with that on an airplane.
Right.
But when you go see a movie, it's like, dude, I don't want to be like, I want to use the armrest, you know?
Like, no, I want to be able to. I will say the one thing I've been going to more movies because like I went with my brother then to see it. We saw Snow White. Movie theater etiquette. I know we have to get on this thing. That is the one thing. It was just, maybe it's because I'm going to see little kid movies and I'm just not used to it. But I just remember going to the movies and like my mom would always teach me like, okay, we have to use our inside voices, and I'm all fine. Like kids are gonna talk, kids are gonna get excited and stuff, but I don't know, maybe I just have not been lucky that it's like the parents who are like speaking real loud to their kids. I'm like, we are actively 30 minutes into this movie. Like one of the mom, bless her soul, she's like, what's that? And he's like, it's a creeper. And I'm like, okay, mom, like just maybe don't ask these questions. But
so did you throw your drink and popcorn when they said chicken jockey?
Okay. The first time I went, it was a very chill type of movie experience. Nobody did anything. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then I went on TikTok and saw everyone was freaking out to chicken jockey for Technoblade, for the I Am Steve. And so when I went with my brother and my sister-in-law, I was about to turn to them and be like, oh, like so funny, like TikTok, like there are these theaters that are like screaming and doing all this stuff. And I didn't tell them because I'm like, I'm not going to go into it. My theater, that theater was up clapping, like get your flashlights out with the chicken jockey. And I'm like, whoa. So it was an experience.
So, but did anybody throw their popcorn? And have you seen those videos?
I've not seen them throw the popcorn. It was just a lot of yelling.
Oh my gosh.
Why are they throwing their popcorn?
So after this, you got to look up these videos. It's insane. And I'm like 50-50 because I kind of enjoy seeing people getting hyped because that's, our show is literally park hypers, right?
Yeah.
We're hyped
We
up.
want that.
We like hype.
Yes.
Right. And it's so cool to like watch this younger generation like getting so hyped for something, and I am like a total boomer. I'm like, what are they talking about? I have no chicken jockey.
Yeah.
But it's so cool to like see theaters of kids be excited for something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I feel like that's what we've been missing all this time. But then the boomer in me comes out a little bit and I'm like, oh, but they're like vandalizing. I mean, just trashing these movie theaters, and people are getting hit with sodas and like bringing actual live chickens into the movie theater. And listen, I'm all for a good time, but it sucks. I mean, put yourself in the janitorial's experience.
Yeah.
And they literally are like, dude, we have like minutes to clean up this theater before the next showing. And I'm always that leave it better than you found it type person.
100% take what you brought.
And that's actually a side tangent here, why movie theaters absolutely boggle my mind, because it's like, hey, I got this popcorn bucket and I only ate half of it. Honey, what do you think I should do with it? Do you think I should throw it away or take it home? No, sweetie, just dump it on the floor. Doesn't it boggle your mind how people go? Like, people are so much more respectful.
Or they just leave everything.
Restaurants.
They just leave everything.
Yes.
When, like, have y'all never been to a movie? There is a massive garbage can, like massive. And here's the thing. I am victim of like, oh shit, like I spilt my popcorn, but I feel so bad, so entirely bad that I'm like trying everything. Here's the thing.
Do better.
Bring in like a quick sweep. But when you're leaving cups, candy wrappers, all of that crap, I'm like, no.
It's crazy.
It is mind-boggling.
It's
especially because like, just throw it away.
It's so easy. It's on the way out. And it's like, I mean, I know I grew up a Boy Scout and that was the whole motto, was like, leave it better than you found it. But it really ingrained, it's ingrained in my DNA, but it's just a good life lesson, man. I mean, my daughter she'll see a piece of garbage and she'll say like litter bug, you know, and she'll be like shaming whoever like threw trash on the ground. And I'm like, she's 4 years old and calling people litter bugs.
Movie etiquette is real. And I think movies, like going to movies, can teach such great things, like literally such great things. Where was I even going to go?
So anyway, you got to watch those.
Oh, but yes, I told my brother and sister-in-law, it gave like what I wish I experienced for Endgame, but how they were saying it, they were like, Endgame makes sense for these reactions, and they're, you know, older, so they're like, I think more in the realm of you where it's like, I'm happy for you, but like I'm kind of annoyed. Was like Endgame, like, oh my gosh, Iron Man, like real stuff. I think they maybe just were like, it's a little bit much for them. I think it was enjoyable. I'm glad I saw it for the first time without those reactions. I love seeing them on TikTok though.
Yeah.
But I think if we're going that far, because at least mine, it was like when the chicken jockey happened, like they screamed like chicken jockey, done. I've seen some where it's like chicken jockey, and then they start talking and like it just becomes this, you know, like everyone's talking over each other. I'm like, okay, back to the movie. But I'll need to look up those videos.
You do.
But have you seen it?
Oh, it's so funny because there's like this one movie theater and you just keep going and it's like people's comments will be like, this is the 5th POV of this one movie theater that I've seen, because it's like there's literally a dude riding another dude and he's got a live chicken in his arm. And when they say chicken jockey, the entire theater erupts and popcorn is just going everywhere. And then they just cut the movie and they're just like, that. All right, guys. Nope.
I will say, like,
wherever that was,
I do kind of love that it's all because of the Minecraft freaking movie, but like it's kind of like, imagine Mario if people went that hard. I don't think they did. And also it's giving when people dress up in suits to go see the Minions.
Oh,
have you not seen that?
No
People will dress up in suits, like black tie, like 20 like frat boys.
I have seen where like a frat like guys will,
but it's like 20 of them in suits and they're like, tickets for the Minions please, and they're all sitting there. Like that makes me laugh so much because that's harmless, like it's just funny and silly. But when you're bringing a live chicken
like that, harmless, that's a good word. It's harmless. It's harmless. Good, and it's good fun. It's
all in good fun. It's like, I don't know, I'm go back and forth. Like with the Eras tour, there were some theaters where people were treating it like it was the concert. I was more of like, I want to watch the movie and hear her sing and not be dancing and doing all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
Like
if you want to do that at your home, if you want to rent out the movie theater, but I want to hear her sing. And I like the comfort of just sitting in quiet and doing it. There was peaceful, like, oh, like we're all humming and doing that stuff, like that's a good time. But when there are people literally like standing on chairs, like twirling and doing all that stuff, I'm like, it's a bit much.
I was gonna say, it reminds me of Wicked,
100%,
where like,
and the actresses literally said, please don't sing.
You know, when there's like PSAs, like, okay, like, come on now, we're here to see the movie, we 100%. You know, like we want to hear Elphaba sing.
I paid money to hear her sing, not you, lovely.
Which, by the way, I'm a man. Wicked is incredible.
I was saying,
I've seen the Broadway. 2 thumbs up. It gave me chills. My wife is obsessed with it. And again, we're on like the side tangent.
But if Disney owned Wicked, that would have been my first freaking
I will say this, like, went and saw the Broadway, chills. I had no idea what I was going to get myself into.
It's so good, and part 2 comes out.
That's where I stand on that. So absolutely agree with, hey, we want to hear the movie. We don't want to hear, you know, everybody going crazy. So rent the movie theater out if you want to do that.
Yeah,
so,
honestly, they do it. With that being said,
back to the regular scheduled programming. So I'd given my number 4.
Okay, and I did my 4.
Number 4 was Phineas and Ferb Land.
So now I'm on my last one.
You are on number 5. Did you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll do that because I feel like we need to end on your good one, because this one is a make or break.
I think I've got a pretty solid one from number 5.
This one, I feel like you hyped me up with Phineas and Ferb giving Toontown. This one is just for shits and gigs. Because I considered this being my whole entire park, and each land was going to be a separate type of thing. I want a Disney Channel land.
I also thought about that.
Tell me that people would not be running to pay for that.
I also thought about that. I was like, okay, what do you do?
Because I thought about
movie. Do 100%. You do live action? Do you do shows?
Yes, because I thought about like, okay, my whole park is going to be Disneyland. There's going to be a Cheetah Girls Land, a this land, and then I'm like, no, I just want one thing where you step in it and you're like, you just like transported through a television and you're there, something of the sort. I do want a Hannah Montana rock and roller coaster because at Disney World, they have the rock and roller coaster, and I want it to be and their whole thing is like, hey guys, we're late for our concert. And I think they could do that with Hannah Montana, but kind of where it's like, she's Miley. So you have to go through and get her ready for the concert and like escape, you know? And so I think it could be a really fun roller coaster, and everybody loves Hannah Montana, and the music would be so iconic.
Yeah.
And if they got Miley onto
Hannah
this,
Montana.
Right? If they got Miley Cyrus to come and do press for this, you're sold. Like, then I was thinking, I want an accommodation in this kind of like Epic universe. I want to recreate the Tipton Hotel.
It's funny. I was thinking about the shows, the Disney Channel shows that were my favorite, and Sweet Life. 100%, like that came up 100%. Immediately in my brain, and then also Hannah Montana. And I don't want to steal your thunder, but I've already got a snack.
No, please.
I've already got a snack.
Okay, what is
for it? I almost said Harry Potter land. Hannah Montana ride cheese jerky.
Oh my God! Cheese jerky.
Yes.
Say what? Oh.
Nobody knows when I say cheese jerky.
Oh,
it's almost like
the jingle.
It just goes right over people's heads.
But you could have Rico's Shack.
It's literally one of the things that's stuck in my brain.
That honestly, that combo like does
from the Hannah Montana shows. Like cheese jerky is just, it's cheese like jerky. You know, it's like Inside Out, how the triple dent gum is just in there somewhere. That's my cheese jerky. So it's just like,
what's your cheese
send
jerky?
This one up to it's just cheese jerky.
What's your cheese jerky? Let us know. So I think the Tipton could be a cool thing, because literally it's not that even big of a deal to make it. It's literally just a nice Hilton hotel,
right? And
so it would be so easy. But they could have the carts. I don't know. It could be so great. And they could have the candy little desk that Maddie worked at. The food, I want the Wizards Waverly Place sub shop.
Oh.
Because I feel like that's super easy, super quick service type stuff.
This is kind of a good, like, kind of a banger land.
Right? And, like, here's the thing.
There's a lot to do with it.
There's a lot to do with it. And I'm telling you, Disney, if you did this, people would come running. I cannot tell you enough good things that people would literally be obsessed with it. And I feel like you were saying there's so much food opportunities, because there's so much that comes up throughout all of the I'm literally touching on 3 shows, but there were so many.
Oh yeah,
and you could even put the Phineas and Ferb in this thing if you really wanted.
Could be.
You know?
I'm imagining like a Hollywood Studios.
That's what it's giving.
And it's like, and then there's all of the studios. There's all of the different shows.
Sets, all the different shows.
Yep, you get 100%. To go on a tour of all these different sets.
That's what I'm really picturing. So that's what I was thinking for that one. And then the merch thing, I hope you've seen it. Do you remember the Disney Channel games? Okay, so basically it was like every summer. It's kind of like the Olympics, but for Disney Channel stars. So they would get like Disney Channel stars from all over. So like the UK, Spain, Canada, America, whatever have you. And they all come together. And there's like a green team, a red team, a blue team, and a yellow team. And so they would all be on a team. There would be a team captain. So like one year it was Demi Lovato and one year it was Joe Jonas. And they all compete. It was like all summer. And so you would just watch this my brothers and I were obsessed with it. And so they would compete in these challenges and they would win points. And then there would be a winner at the end. And so I want to like have those shirts that you can buy. I think it's on Disney Plus. Honestly, I'm afraid to watch it in case it doesn't hit the same.
You're like, what was I watching?
What was that? Like, realistically, they got like 40, 16-year-olds together. And so they all say in interviews it was, their best time of their life.
Oh, that's cool.
But, yeah.
Better than what most child actors come out
right.
saying.
They're like, okay, we at least got to like play
that
games.
Was traumatic.
Like Disney's like, come play games,
hey.
Yeah. So I feel like it could work. Kind of like, was there ever a Nickelodeon theme park?
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't.
And maybe I've been making this up. There has to have been.
I feel like see, this is great. Maybe this is like
the Mandela effect.
Yeah, maybe we're doing like a Mandela effect here.
No,
but
there 100%
I think there was. I think there.
Like at Universal.
Because I mean, I swear I would see commercials for it.
There
when
was,
you're watching
and like you
the
could
shows.
get slimed.
Yeah, and I feel like there was.
So I feel like that's what it would kind of give. And I do
knows?
think though you need to like stick to the OG Disney Channel stuff. You can't do none of the like new stuff that's on it. But those are my 5 lands. So
maybe you could do new stuff though. Maybe you could do like Descendants or something.
Oh, see, yes.
And
but,
now I've never seen Descendants, but
I think it could
I know
work.
about it, but
Yeah,
I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
It could be
the nostalgia
a Hollywood
thing, but
Studios
also
style land because it just you could just pack
whatever
them all
you
in there.
want, whatever you want,
and then you future proof it.
But I don't want like dog with a blog. No shade to G, love you, but like I don't need a dog with a blog type of thing. I want like the real good,
the OG shows,
But like Descendants, it's made its mark. It's still doing it.
Maybe kind of do like. For every old, you do like a new or something.
100%.
Incorporate the new and the old. Because I had that same thought about how these are nostalgic for us, but you got to get the new generations in there. And it's like, and how do you create a land that is going to be fun for everybody? And so, yeah.
So we have Wreck-It Ralph, Hercules, Brave, Phineas and Ferb, and the Disney Channel land. And we're going to end off with your last one.
Okay. So I didn't mean for this one to be the crescendo, but I think this is kind of a banger idea. And I honestly don't know how this hasn't been done yet. Okay. But it kind of has been done, but it's not been done in the way that I'm thinking of. So the name of
it sounds like a riddle. It's been done. It's not been done.
Right. What's been done, but not been done. Yeah. So I'm thinking the name of my land is Fantasy Kingdom.
Ooh.
And my idea for this land, roll with me on this one.
Okay.
Is when you think about Disney parks, you have in Disneyland, you've got Aurora's castle, Disney World, you've got Sleeping Beauty's castle. What if this new theme park, right? In a Disney park, it almost has to have a castle, right? It's like it has to. It'd be weird if there was a Disney theme park and it didn't have a castle.
Have the landmark.
So I'm thinking Fantasy Kingdom could be a place where all of the Disney princesses decided to build a kingdom.
Ooh.
So imagine a castle that's got a bit of everybody's touch in it.
I love that.
Can you imagine a castle where it's like, wow, that's different. It's not so-and-so's castle.
Like it's not just
that's
come
not
from the
so-and-so's
movie.
castle. That is everybody's castle.
I do love that.
And this is everybody's land too. So all the princesses.
Kind of giving Dreamlight Valley, that video game where it's like all of the characters share a kingdom.
Yep.
It's like that's what it is.
Exactly. Now, a lot of people probably were like, it's Kingdom Hearts, but I've never played the game.
Oh my gosh, it is Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. So I've never played the game. I hear it's excellent.
It is good.
And when I was doing up my research, I was thinking, oh man, a Kingdom Hearts land might actually be cool. But you could also put it in another Wreck-It Ralph land, because if it's like a game, you could go into there, and that's kind of where I had it. Like, okay, if I'm gonna make a land, so Fantasy Kingdom, it's like, Fantasyland in Disneyland, or in Magic Kingdom. Well, I guess it's kind of the two of those smashed.
It's just like on crack.
I'm just now realizing that Fantasy Kingdom is just a smash between those.
Fantasy and
so anywho, but my idea with it is, hey, you've got all of these Disney princesses, and they're going to come together in this one land together. Or maybe it's like their chalet vacation where, hey girls, it's
the crossover event.
Yeah, it's exactly. So because I also was thinking about Wreck-It Ralph 2 for this, where
all the princesses come together.
I absolutely love that scene where all the princesses are hanging out.
They're just divas, yeah.
And then, they're like, oh, what are these clothes? And it like they're in pajamas.
Yeah.
Merch, we sell all of those pajamas.
Honestly.
That's the first merch line, is all of those pajamas come to life.
I would literally buy them all.
Yep. So that was my idea, was all the princesses together.
That would would also be a great marketing thing of like sometimes when Disney has new movies when they're not really princesses, but they walk around, like you could just have them come to the kingdom.
Exactly.
Like easy.
Yep. And that's kind of why I was like Fantasy Kingdom
like
instead of like a princess land, because it's like, it's just, you could
some
have
princesses aren't princesses.
Right.
I'm gonna stand on that.
Exactly. Some princesses aren't, but you could incorporate them all. So here's my big idea with the attraction.
I'm ready for the attraction because I feel like you've set the tone perfect for like the vibes.
Yep. Here's my idea. Battle for the Kingdom. So it's
giving battle royale.
It's a work in progress. Or we call it Enchanted Alliance.
I think that one may give a little bit more like la la la.
Yes.
Battle for the Kingdom is giving like we're hopping to Wreck-It Ralph land and get your gun.
Yes. Like, and this is bold and I understand this, and I'm also a man.
This is getting clipped.
I'm like, I want like the Disney princesses to be like Star Wars. But that's why I said walk with me on this one here. Roll with me.
I got my walking shoes on.
So imagine the ride is like, it's about the story of the land. So it's about, you learn a bit more. You learn about how the princesses all want to come together and make their own kingdom. You know, they're sick of their ones back at home. No, they want to make a new. So it goes off of that. It just, they're teaming up. It's a princess team up against the villains.
This makes so much more sense because literally the title, I literally thought all the princesses were going to be battling each other.
It's
and
like,
so I was like, I thought this was for them to share the kingdom.
They're gonna duke it out.
They literally battle for the kingdom. I was like, Cinderella and Ariel about to have beef.
Go. It's like, and it could be like Star Tours and you get a different princess battle each time.
Wait,
it's
actually kind of cool if there's like you're against the villain and like the princess has her own spotlight moment.
So my idea was the princesses all team up and everything's going fine. But then some sort of event happens, kind of like Phantasmic, how Mickey's just chilling and then all of a sudden it's like the villains are coming out after him, right? You got Maleficent and Chernabog.
Everybody's here.
It's just like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm thinking, right? You have the Disney princesses and all is good until it's not. And then imagine though, having all of the princess villains, and you could make it to where it's almost like Avengers Endgame here, where it's like, you know, they're clashing in the middle. But imagine just for a second here the creativity you could have with this ride to where let's say you don't have like Aurora and Prince Philip.
Stop picturing Ariel with Captain America's shield.
See, this is gonna be great. Imagine like you don't have just Aurora or Prince Philip battling a dragon Maleficent. Imagine it's like Elsa. Imagine like Elsa is like,
she's going after it.
It's like you could be so creative, and I have not thought this through, but I was just thinking about it. I'm like, hold on, wait. I kind of like this idea because
you would see them in a whole different light.
I was gonna and that's my point. You see them in a whole different light, and you could have now. Not all the princesses have magical powers, but they could do things to help, you know, distract or, you know, do something where they pull a lever and the gates, you know, the gate comes down. It's like the drawbridge comes up and it's you could make it thrilling. It's not just like,
it's like the scene itself is like thrilling and like immersive.
It's not just like a wondrous, like, you know, take through the movie.
No, wait.
Right. Like, so I was thinking about, okay, I know the Beauty and the Beast ride. Is it in Shanghai?
It is in Shanghai.
People really like that one. I've heard that one.
Park Hypers go Asia. I'm telling you.
The like we were talking about earlier with the Tangled ride in Tokyo Disney Sea. People are like, these rides are incredible. Yeah. But they're just the movies.
It truly is, and it's just you're following the same. Like their personalities the same, everything. It's just like, oh, there's Rapunzel.
Yes, and I want to see these women do some good, right?
be put to work.
I want to see it.
But it could be cool because I'm imagining like maybe they bring like this enchanted book that has all of their stories in it, and they're bringing it to this kingdom to be put on display so people can come and read the stories from all of their land. And maybe some magical thing comes and now the villains are escaping out of this book, you know, and so they have to go and defeat the villains so the book is like back to their safety.
Bingo. I like it. Thanks for adding on top of my idea.
But I know realistically it would be pretty, but like I do want to see like Elsa just like wield like a sword and just start like beating the crap out of a villain.
Thank you.
You know, like I do want it to be as epic as Endgame.
Yeah. And now wouldn't that be cool to see Elsa using, because like I know there's the Frozen ride somewhere. Whether it's in Disney World,
that one, yeah,
right, where actually it's
but there's like a whole
there's another one and it's in Asia. I don't know if it's
I'm
Shanghai
telling you, everything
or
good is there.
I know, but it's like she uses her powers and it's like the ice spikes come up.
Oh,
you
see,
already
that could be
have
sick.
the technology to do this, and my idea was,
and they want women empowerment.
Yes. Absolutely.
So boom.
And I'm all for it because I want to see some action. And I want to be like, this is right. Now, again, it's like all my rides are like, just make it Rise of the Resistance. But like Rise of the Resistance. Because I'm thinking a
long ride, trackless coaster.
Yep, a trackless ride car. And actually, the one that I was thinking of is the one that they're going to be putting that's in DCA, that's going to be the Avengers like assembled against like
the Iron Man, the fight against Thanos.
Yes, the fight against King Thanos, where it's just like the Transformers ride in Universal Studios. You've got a mix between actual props and sets and screens, and I'm just thinking that would be kind of cool if it was like princesses, because think about it, the princesses are Disney.
100%.
When you think about Disney, they are the face of the franchise.
Well, they are like that's what started them.
That's what started
them. That literally
is
why we're here.
I could not think of a land that I would want to see more that would bring people in that's different. So it's like you kind of have, like I was saying when I prefaced it, you kind of have it, you kind of don't have it. Like you kind of have, Galaxy's Edge with my Tatooine land. You kind of have Star Wars, but it's different.
You're building upon it.
You have princessy fantasy type lands, but it's different. And this land, this kingdom, could have a lot more to offer with like little kid, right? It could be little balance. Kid rides and stuff, and it could be that Disney magic, because who could imagine a Disney theme park without that, a castle or that kind of fantasy whatever.
I do think there's a lot of storytelling, because like the storybook ride at Fantasyland, you go through and it's like the different princesses. Like I think the little kids ride could still be so fun. Like the princesses could take you through and it's like, hi, meet my friend Ariel, like that stuff. But then you could have this whole like immersive, like they're taking on the kingdom. There's a battle. I think the more you talk about it, the more it gives Kingdom Keepers, because like not Kingdom Keepers, that's the book. Have you read that book?
No.
It's really like where these 5 kids, like when they go to sleep, they transport as like clones into like Disneyland, and they're like fighting, or Disney World, and they're like fighting the villains because they're taking over. You need to read the book. It's the best book ever I read as a child. Ridley Pearson.
I mean, that's kind of exactly what I was thinking about.
I mean, like, that's why it happened. It's like they literally go to sleep, and then when they wake up, they're there, and the villains are taking over the land. Disney, you can do something with that. But what was it? Kingdom Hearts, where they're... Is that the movie I'm talking... game I'm talking about? Yeah, the game. Yeah. It's like Donald and Goofy and Mickey wielded weapons, and they were wearing armor. It didn't take away... Mickey's not violent. Mickey's not like angry, but like he's defending his land. And I think Ariel and Merida and whoever else, Belle, they can get their armor and they can roll up their sleeves and take on a kingdom.
Exactly. We were looking at Lorcana cards earlier, and it reminds me of Lorcana because that's
what it's giving.
They have the Dreamborn series, or the Dreamborn characters is like, Anna with a full shield of armor, or like, and I'm not gonna lie, those are like my favorite cards. I love to see the alternative, not just the princess, not just the pretty face. It's like I would love to see like, and you know what? On the fly, maybe we just call it this Dreamborn or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, what's Dreamborn? It's like, whoa, this, you know, maybe not alternate universe or something where, you know, the princesses are wielding armor and it's like,
I kind of love that though.
I just think that there's something there and I'd love to see them in that different light. And I think that you've got something because you could have, when you think about the ideas and if you're like, you have like a whiteboard and you're like, okay, what are we going to do? Right.
Yeah.
You list out the different villains and you list out the different heroes and then you just start like connecting them of like, okay, so-and-so could do something cool with this villain and how these, and I haven't even thought it out, but like, you know, kind of like the fire and ice where I was just saying like Maleficent shoots fire and Elsa's like ice. Like you could totally have like, you know, the juxtaposition of the different heroes and villains. And I just think like,
oh, that'd be so
come
cool.
on. That would be so cool.
It's like the House of Mouse where it was like you saw all these characters, all the villains together. All
banger show.
So good. So good. Literally the best thing ever.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was just thinking about the House of Mouse the other day.
So good.
And why is it not on Disney Plus?
Is it not?
I don't think so.
No, I'm not kidding. Like that is one of my favorite things ever. And they would have the different Mickey would come and host it and something would always go wrong. So good. TV shows slapped back then. Like actually. Okay, I'm not mad at that idea. Okay. I think it could
it grows on you.
It's kind of the epic universe vibe. Like a little bit out there, something that's never been done before. And also we have to think with that, the other lands aren't going away. If they want traditional Fantasyland, then go to Fantasyland. Go do that. But this is like, I feel like a little bit grown up, a little bit like teenagers, for like even like people who have daughters, you know, going and see like these princesses, like, and it's just the ride that might be a little bit like, all right, we're shielding armor and we're gonna go wield a sword, but like they can have the cutesy bits, they can walk around as princesses, but maybe they're more chill and not as like uptight.
Yeah.
It's their summer escape.
And it's so different too, because like imagine you have that ride, right, where it's like the Dreamborn ride or something, and it's like you know,
Battle Royale.
Princess you know, yeah, exactly. But imagine then you see them walking around and they have those costumes on and they're different.
That would be sick. It is giving like a sequel, like Elsa wears something different. So just have these princesses do something different.
I think it would be so cool because it's like, okay, when you envision a land of like, oh, what do I want to do? Right. It's like, what am I doing differently here that's going to get people hyped? It would get me hyped. I'm already hyped.
Everything we've said, if any of these lands, literally one of them, I would be running to the park. I would be camping out. And they've got
ideas with the Lorcana cards. I mean, literally just look at the Dreamborn Lorcana cards and there's plenty of options. There's like Cinderella in a full suit of armor.
Even Pascal coming out, like just like being with Tangle, like the frying pan could be her weapon. Like you can still stick to the traditional things. Like Cinderella could literally take her glass slipper and start, I don't know, maybe we're gonna get a little violence.
Hey, she does that in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes. Like I just felt like you could start doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this idea.
So that was my number 5, which I think I'm like, I want to go to these places.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm sad.
So I'll give you what I was having a hard time with. So one of the lands that I was talking about was Treasure Planet. I had the same vibe, but a different IP. Okay. And I started to think about what are some of Disney's most popular movies? What are what live action? What would be a cool place to be in? And I'm like, Pirates of the Caribbean. Tortuga would be the land. Yeah. So, and now hear me out on this one, right?
That's pretty good.
You think about it, you're like, well, what could be on Tortuga that would be so exciting? Well, it would be kind of like Isle of Berk, where it's mostly like water. It's very water heavy. Yeah. But to me, I was thinking more of like Epic Universe's Dark Universe.
Dark Universe, yeah.
Because I was thinking about maybe a little bit more adult-centered theme where it's just maybe a little bit more intense, kind of how Dark Universe is. Because my whole thought about it was you step into Tortuga and you are a dirty pirate, man.
Ooh, love it.
And you're kind of on the run, right? And the vibe of it is the East India Trading Company could show up at any time. And it's just like Galaxy's Edge with the stormtroopers.
I love that. And the cast members still treat you like that.
It makes the land feel so much cooler when you're like, oh, this is kind of intimidating. Kylo Ren's walking around pointing the finger.
Cast members are getting mad at me when I'm not on my circle on the ride.
Exactly. It's like it could totally be a little bit more intense to where it's like, yeah, these are rough and tough scum, pirate scum. And it's like you could kind of, you know, you could go the route of like, oh, I'm a, you know, more of an English person, right? G'day.
And, mate.
And maybe the pirates
Australian.
ridicule, you know, the people, the cast members there will be like, you know, they'll say things. And I just think about like, there could be lines and there could be dialogue between the cast members of like, you know, different like, oh, have you seen Jack Sparrow? And it's like, no, if you see him, you know, he owes me money or something, because you could have a whole story with it. And then my big idea was that a ship would come pulling up and there would be like intense music and like the shopkeepers would like freak out and like you know, like kind of hide a little bit, and then the East India Trading Company would like get off this boat and start like patrolling, and it'd be like intense, and there'd be like some dude like shouting of like, you know, I'm gonna get you pirate scum, and you know, you could have the pirate mark or whatever, and if you know people had it or something, you know, like, show me, are you a pirate? And I just think there'd be really good dialogue.
How cool would that be if they, and I want them to do this but not with that price tag, the Galactic Star Cruiser, how like you signed up for this experience. Like, I feel like that would be so cool if it was like your hotel accommodation or something. Like, I just think that would be sick, because then everybody there is participating in this. Like, people dress up as pirates, they do as they do. But I kind of love like the balance of like, you have this more adult centered land, but then we also said we have Wreck-It Ralph across the street, you know?
And that's what I love about Epic Universe is that they have something for everybody, everyone. And they weren't afraid to go a little intense there with the Dark Universe, which I think, I'm going to be honest. When I saw that, I'm like, I'm not a big horror movie guy. I can't stand them. I mean, I like, you know, maybe suspenseful films, but not like horror gore films or monster movies.
We are
or
the
anything.
same.
And when I saw Dark Universe the first time, I was like, I kind of just, maybe it's not for me.
Yeah.
But then I saw a little bit more, and then I saw a little bit more,
and you're like,
and then I started to think, maybe this is my most anticipated land.
Have you heard the TikTok? And it's like, I don't think I really like Epic Universe. Like, they say something, it's like, I think I'm starting to really like Epic Universe. I don't think I like the Dark Universe. I think I'm starting to like the Dark Universe. Yeah, that would be Garrett.
That was me.
Yeah.
That is exactly me. Because I was like, I don't, that's not. And then I'm like, maybe I like Dark Universe.
Absolutely.
The Monsters Unchained ride looks
I need to
out
look
of
it
this
up.
world.
I need to I think I've been avoiding looking at things because I'm like, I'm going to just like literally go to Disney World and want to be at Universal. Which
you need to.
Clip that. Whoever thought that would come out of my mouth? I'm going to be at Disney World, and I'm like sad I'm not at Universal.
Right?
Crazy talk.
I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to get to Epic.
It has to happen. You mentioned like what one you were thinking of. I was thinking it again goes kind of like the Phineas and Ferb, a Goofy movie.
Yep. And it's very relevant right now, too.
Very relevant right
30
now.
years.
Maybe that's why
I'm old. I'm a boomer.
That was why I was getting, I think, like, I was like, ooh, that's a good one. But specifically, it's not here on my notes. But like when they go on the road trip, somehow I want you to get in a car. But this car turns into like a water ride. So like this is actually a boat. So I want you to like somehow go on the road trip. You know, they have the big map, and then now they're going overboard. I feel like it could be super cool. And then they could have, you know, like the power lines.
Genius.
Everything. So maybe I'm like, I just need to come up with these rides, and everybody else figures out how they all go together.
That's good. I like that. Yeah. I actually really do like that. And you brought up a point there with that ride. Clip this, because I think that they need to make a ride that is both a land and water ride.
See? This could be it.
It will come. It will happen. An amphibious ride vehicle that's literally like a trackless boat. and then it's literally a trackless, or maybe it gets onto a track when it's in the water and it goes along.
And then it becomes a boat.
And it becomes a boat, but then it comes out of it. And it's like, I'm telling you, we will get a ride like that someday.
Oh, yeah, they have to.
I'm not sure when, but clip it because this will happen. Here first. It's kind of a bonus. Water park.
Ooh.
So I have a water park in mind.
Okay.
You could also make it a land as well.
I like water park.
But I think I wanted it to just be a water park because I don't know if there's enough to make it a very like livable land.
Yeah.
So here's the idea. It is Emperor's New Groove.
That was literally going to be my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Pull the lever.
Yes.
I literally have
That's
to go
the
through
plot
my
of the
iPad.
movie.
I'm gonna.
It's a water park.
It literally is a water park.
Cusco-topia.
Literally,
Of Yzma's secret lair.
Yes.
I swear people have been asking for this forever.
People wanted Splash Mountain to be pull the lever, Kronk, and it's wrong lever.
How do we not have this? It's like it would be
Tower
a chicken jockey moment for Disney fans.
Honestly, just feed us.
Wrong lever.
Wrong lever. Like that's what I think people thought that maybe Splash Mountain would turn into.
Yeah.
Because that made sense for like a Tower of Terror. Something. I'm not saying to get rid of Tower of Terror, like to redo it, but I just been like, there are plenty of things. That's all we want is a wrong lever.
People are gonna really grill me in the comments here, but it's like Rise of the Resistance.
Take a shot every time Garrett mentions.
I want every single ride to be Rise of the Resistance. But hear me
back
out.
To when we said we're done with these rides being the exact same. Yep. It's like Rise of the Resistance, guys.
Think about it. Think about the Yzma's secret lair here, where you know how you get in and it locks you in and then it drops you. I mean, it's there. It could be a roller. It
Garrett's
could be a roller
just gonna
coaster.
have a ride where it is Rise of the Resistance, but every 2 minutes it switches themes.
Listen.
You never know what you're getting.
Give me a blank check and an Imagineering hard hat, and I will bring fans to the park. Every single ride is going to be Rise of the Resistance with different IPs. That's just like my brainchild.
Rise of the Resistance. They're like, but like, what's the ride? Rise of the Resistance.
Everybody knows that amazing attraction, Rise, right? Yeah. I mean, right? You've been on it.
Solid.
Here's what I'm thinking.
That is so funny.
It's like one of those Mad Libs where it's like insert, you know.
It's just your only adjective is just Rise of the Resistance. Yep. Rise of the Resistance.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm telling you, it works for him. You know, it works.
It works.
But
when it works.
See, that's the thing.
Better than Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones kind of could be like kind of a Brave ride almost. Like I think that's the type of thrill I want for Brave. You know, like where you're going around on a horse and it like stops and is like, nay.
Good idea.
On the bridge,
it is kind of horse-like.
Yeah, it's horse-like because it feels bumpy and you go through it. I feel like that's the level of thrill. I'm not talking like Incredicoaster. I'm talking like Indiana Jones.
That is actually like a pretty good comparison. Because instead of going through like, you know, in the Indiana Jones temple, you're like
going through the
you're
forest.
Like on horseback.
And then maybe you're like, oh, I'm at the like castle outside.
And you're like, there's, you know, this is one big old horse. This is a Clydesdale because there's 3 other people on it.
There's 3 other people on it. Yeah. This is, it makes me sad that these aren't real. And now I'm going to go home and type these things in and hope that something pops up of news that maybe they'll do it.
Seriously though, what if like, what was it that we talked about? Oh, it was the Buzz Lightyear.
Astro Orbiters.
We talked about Astro Blasters and
the next
week it was like, check it out.
We're redoing it.
So
sometimes you got to speak stuff into existence. And all I'm saying is if you make any of these lands, you can take the credit. You can take our rides. You can take our titles. I'm going to need a media pass is all I'm asking Disney. That's it.
Small little favor.
Small favor. Put us in the nice hotel. Easy peasy.
Yep.
Not much.
Yep. And there's plenty of ideas. This is 24 hours. Remember.
Give us the hard hat, like for free. You don't have to pay us. Just like let us be at the table.
Yep.
Let us promote our ideas.
Imagine what we could do with 48 hours.
72, baby.
More Rise of the Resistance.
More Rise of the Resistance.
Twice as much Rise of the Resistance.
Honestly, if you ever want to overlay Rise of the Resistance, just come to Garrett. He's going to give you all the ideas. That is so funny.
I will take us to the promised land.
To the promised land of fries.
To Fantasy Kingdom.
Fantasy Kingdom. I'm not kidding. I think if you are not a visual person who is like watching this podcast, I think audio listeners are going to have a fun time with this episode because the whole time you're talking, I'm just imagining.
It's like a book.
It's like a book. And I'm really here for all these things. And I think that they need to make it happen.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah. Here for it. Dang. I mean,
those are it. That's it. Those are our lands.
Those are our lands. And I feel like they would compete well with Epic Universe.
I think
if those were the lands, I'd be like, sorry, Epic Universe.
Location is the hardest part for me.
Where are they going to do that?
Where do you put
Please,
this land?
Not Asia. And I am telling you, like,
thank you.
I want...
This
is no offense to Asia. Just
location.
You guys have everything. You have everything I could ever dream of and more. Whenever they're announcing something good that's coming, they're like, it's coming to Shanghai. It's coming to Tokyo. And I'm like... Please.
Yeah, we don't live close to that.
We don't live close to that, okay? Like, gosh, it's so far away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even you could do Paris, maybe even. I'd be like, okay, do something of the sorts, Europe. But, yeah,
I'm thinking, like, this would be, like, the next U.S. soiled land. And
Texas.
wherever you want to put that.
I just think, like, weather-wise.
Right, exactly. Wherever you put that, it would be, like, that would be the next thing.
Honestly, put it in like Wyoming.
Yeah, I don't even know the
snow.
I actually was thinking about Florida first of all, just because I'm like, that's
they would like do a whole nother okay. Sorry, I thought you meant like we're making a whole new like state. Florida would be, there's no room in California.
Yeah, there's no room in California. I was thinking this would be like, you have the 4 different lands and parks in Florida. This would be like its own thing, kind of like exactly how Epic Universe is. Yeah, but it's just there's Universal, and then next door is Epic Universe.
Kind of how like Disneyland and California Adventure is. They're separate but together.
It just makes sense, honestly, with Disney expanding with the cruise lines. Mm-hmm. You want to bring people.
It's a centralized
to that area
location.
because then all of a sudden it's like, you already have people coming for Disney World and Epic Universe, and now you can open up another one, and it's like there's land for it, and then you have the
so
cruise
much
lines.
Land that they could do.
So it's, to me, that would probably be number one.
Yeah,
I don't know how you would open up like this in like a completely different place.
No, I think
it probably would, like, that's why I was thinking like an extension. Where
it's like we were mentioning, the princesses are not gone. It would be hard to bring your kids somewhere where you got Phineas and Ferb, you got Wreck-It Ralph, and you got the Magic Kingdom.
Mommy, why are the princesses battling?
We gotta let them at least go see, Cinderella's castle, do the teacups, do all that. But I think an expansion would work well.
Yeah, an expansion part. And you know what? I thought about like a Villain's Land because I was thinking about Dark Universe. But they're doing that. So I didn't want to be like, Villain's Land, and then, hey, moron, they're already opening up a Villain's Land. But it's like, I get it. But think about it. It is kind of cool. Like, people love the Disney villains.
See, that's why I didn't do Marvel, because I don't want people to be like, they already have it. But my thing is,
right now, live.
Okay,
give me your Marvel land.
Here's the thing. I didn't really even think too much on it. And the reason being is because I was like, I do think it needs to be like Avengers Campus. I appreciate that it's like we're hitting not every single, but we have Iron Man, we have Spider-Man, we have, whatever it may be. I like that. I don't think you could do just one movie. I do think Wanda could have a cool ride because just her powers and everything, I think would be incredible. I think you could almost do like a mischievous thing. Like you could have Loki, you could have Wanda. Didn't really get too far with it because I know that stuff's coming with Marvel, but I think they could do it so much better than what they have going on.
I do like
now.
Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
I do like, because you do have like a little bit of everything. Yeah. Like with Doctor Strange too. He's got he's got a section, and then you got like Pims and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I just need the new ride, and then I'll think it's the reason I think it's lacking and they haven't done it Incredibles. I wish they just opened it all with the extra ride, because in my opinion we already had Guardians. That's not new.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
you basically only got one new ride.
You got Spider-Man and you got Pims.
Yeah.
Which Pims is great, and I love it. And I love Spider-Man. I just think like I think you should open a park with more than one ride.
It is. It's like that. We like totally knew that was going to be the venture that they were going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I am really excited for the 2 new rides because not just one, it's 2. And
so
it's like
I'm like, okay,
that's going to make that part of DCA way more cool to hang out in.
Oh, absolutely, because you walk through Avengers Campus, you're like, all right, I did the ride, I'm done, I'm out.
Is it? I mean, I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion for me, but I would bulldoze Hollywood Studios.
What is with you and bulldozing?
And listen, I love the Art Academy, but like,
hold on.
Would you? I know, but would you? Okay, would you take all of that out for more Avengers theme park?
If you do not touch my Animation Academy,
it's just a lone, like, it's an island. It's Avengers like, all around, just the Art Academy.
If I zoom in, if Art of Animation, the Animation Academy ever goes away,
I do love it.
Ever goes away, I will become a Karen.
I'm so
don't
glad
care.
that we're on the same page.
I have loved that forever. I got mad that they got rid of the little library area where you could go and like see what like Belle would talk to you. Yeah. They got rid of that. They have it now where you meet Anna and Elsa, and I'm like, okay, whatever. They have Turtle Talk with Crush. If you get rid of that, done.
I'm glad we're on the same page about that because
I'm gonna be honest, Monsters Inc., all that stuff, you can take a bulldozer to it right
there
now.
We go.
Bulldoze it. The little, Philhar magic thing, bulldoze it. Award wieners. I don't need it.
And it pains me to say this, but the Hyperion too. The Aladdin show is something.
Well, they do nothing in it.
I know. My wife and I were just talking about how the Aladdin show, we would go see that just because we were there. I mean, it didn't matter that we had seen it. We would go. The
genie
and watch
was
it.
so good.
He was so good, and
that's how I found out Zayn left One Direction.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
because the genie told me
because he would bring up relevant stuff,
and I was literally sitting there. I'm like, funny. Zayn left One Direction.
Yes. So it pains me to say this, but you're right.
Bulldoze that.
And exactly, it's like,
and they still have it at Hollywood Studios, and they in Orlando, and they do it better. Like literally, when you said bulldoze Hollywood Studios, in my brain, I was like, that's a whole park. But no, you meant like that little section. Yeah, you could do that.
And yes, I'm with you about the Art Academy because
you could even move it. Okay, if we need to like put it in a different spot.
That was when I worked there. That was like my oasis because you work there, you ride on every single ride a gazillion times. But what people don't do is they don't stop and go, I want to go draw this character.
Right.
And you'd look at the times and you'd be like,
see
cool.
Which one you like.
I want to go draw this one. And you go, you come back and it's like, I have my sketches from the college program because like I'm not very good at art, but I just found it so enjoyable.
It's so nice. And the people there, like they have good conversation and like it's getting
relaxing.
Really popular now. Like when I've gone, it's like 3 people, but now it's like a whole herd. So like if you want to go with not a lot of people, do not go during like I feel like 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock where it's super hot because everyone's like it's an escape. You could move it as long as like I'm walking in and it's the exact same feeling and place. Yes, but other than that, do not touch it. That is my sacred baby.
So you would, as long as Art Academy was. Oh no,
yes,
safe,
confidently I would bulldoze. I would bulldoze Monsters Inc. I would bulldoze that stage that is useless. The little
there's a lot of room.
The little. What is it? Schmoozy's place. There's a lot of room. Or do it better.
Yeah.
Because it does not feel like Hollywood Studios.
Yeah. It's like a lot of room, but there's not a lot going on.
No,
it's like
only during the holidays.
It's the reason why I have the same kind of feelings about Tomorrowland. It's like there's a lot of room, but there's not a lot going on.
Like then like utilize the space and like if you want to keep it Hollywood Studios, then like do it a little bit better because you're not doing it best.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I want to touch on something. One last thing before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Tron Ares.
Okay.
I just saw the teaser trailer, and I am cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
I am hyped about it because Tron is one of my favorite movies, Disney live action movies of all time. And
I've never seen it.
I mean, it's iconic. So.
Did you ever play the Tron game on your phone?
No.
See, they had a Tron game on your phone, and like you would like go and you would like need to like cut
people
off.
Yeah.
So like I love in the ride of Tron.
You know the game.
I need to watch it.
So we need to watch it together because I want to see your live reaction. It is just, it's iconic. The music is done by Daft Punk.
Ooh, okay.
So it's one of these things where Disney fans are just all lockstep in agreement, where it is just the sound. I will listen to the soundtrack in my car because it's that good.
Ooh, okay.
So Daft Punk soundtrack, they're not doing the soundtrack for this one. It's 9 Inch Nails, which I gotta be honest, I'm at a loss. I can't tell you whether that's good or bad.
Yeah.
We will see. When
does it come out?
October 10th.
This year,
October 10th, 10/10/25.
Dang. Okay.
So, which I'm excited for because I've actually always wanted a Tron Halloween costume. I just think a light up costume, like it would.
Hard.
Yes, I've always wanted one. If I ever come into money or Disney wants to send me one, I mean,
here we go. Send us to the world premiere.
I'll trade you ride ideas.
It's just Rise of the Resistance.
It's just Rise of the Resistance for a Tron costume. Or I'd love to go to the premiere, honestly. Yeah. So I'm hyped. I gotta say, like, it looks good. It looks like the story is a bit, and I won't spoil the first Tron, but it looks like a crossover between the digital frontier that is Tron and the real world. Ooh. And you have that mix match, and it just looks so good.
Did you know they were making one? Because I feel like I was shocked to find out when I saw the teaser.
So I feel like I knew that they were making a Tron, but because I think a while ago, maybe at some convention, Disney, the teaser for it was just lasers, and it lasered out the 9 Inch Nails logo, and then it kind of split apart and was like, oh, Disney and 9 Inch Nails and the new Tron, right? Yeah. So there wasn't anything to it. So you kind of knew, but I don't really know a whole lot about this.
They're giving
funny
an
enough,
Epic Universe
vibe. The main character of the first Tron, I guess the actor's name is Garrett Hedlund, and my name's Garrett. So
let us pull up to the world premiere.
Even more reason for me to like the first one.
Yeah.
And then in this one, I found out something interesting. So I found out that I was looking at the IMDb, and Cameron Monaghan. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He is Cal Kestis in Jedi Survivor, the video game. And Star Wars fans, right? I'm a Star Wars fan. I know, right? Really? Rise of the Resistance? We've all been asking for, like, I think it would be great if we got a live action Cal Kestis series, or maybe even just an appearance in one of the other shows. I love his story. I played Jedi Survivor years after it came out, and it's a solid game. I love the story. So the fact that he's in the movie, I'm like, I don't know who he is in the movie because it actually doesn't say. It just says his name.
That he's in it, yeah.
Don't know what he's doing in it, but I'm very excited to see what he is. Yeah. Who his character is in that movie. Jared Leto is Ares. So I'm assuming Ares, I think, is the bad guy.
Makes sense. Check out.
The baddie in that one, which the teaser trailer kind of alludes to that as well. I
can't fall in love with this one.
Oh no, not a Jared Leto guy.
I don't really think so.
No. Well, it's
is he the guy, Jared Leto? Are we talking about? I feel like I have an image in my head, and I'm agreeing that no, but maybe I'll correct myself on this.
Morbius. It's Morbin time.
Wait, no, that's not him.
Yeah.
From Loki? Morbius? The villain guy. Yeah, nope, the long hair.
There we go. Yeah.
Yep, nope.
And Auda's out. So
bye.
That's actually interesting you say that, because it's like every single Tron Ares video that you see pop up on like TikTok or Instagram, I just break my leg running to the comments to see what people are saying about it.
Yeah. And
it's like so many people are like, yes, sees Jared Leto's face. No. And I'm like,
I'm sorry.
Come on, guy. Like, just because he was Morbius doesn't mean this movie's going to be, I don't know. I'm trying to be an optimistic.
Here's the thing. I'm sure he'll do great. I'm just saying I have a tendency to fall in love with the villains. And I just know that I will not be falling in love with that man.
Bummer. I mean, I'll give him a try. Give him a shot.
Give him a chance.
Jeez, the movie hasn't even come out. You haven't even seen the teaser trailer.
I'm going watch this is literally me with Marvel. Yeah. This is how it all started. I'm like, I don't even want to watch Marvel. Who's Iron Man anyway? Watch me in 6 months when we go see the movie. And it's like, guys, my new obsession is Jared Leto.
And then we're both wearing Tron costumes for Halloween.
Just for all sitting here.
Hey, that gives us comes out on 10/10. That gives us
Can we have a Halloween? I think the month of October.
21 days until Halloween. That is exactly 3 weeks. So.
And the month of October will absolutely be wearing costumes. So there you go. You have an excuse now.
On the podcast.
Yeah, on the podcast. We just have a theme. So one of the themes can be Tron.
I like it.
I know we're going to wrap up, but with that being said, I feel like the movies, they're giving us epic universe level where it's like we don't really know what's happening and then all of a sudden it's here. Zootopia 2
came out of nowhere
for me. Is coming
I didn't know it was this year.
No, I knew it was in the works because Zootopia has taken off.
Yep.
But it's literally coming out this year.
This year. It's like
I've seen no trailer.
3 days after my birthday.
It. Really?
Yeah.
Dang. So
on Miley Cyrus's birthday.
Miley, give us a call back. There's a lot of new movies. So if we can take this energy into the new parks, we'll be set, Disney.
Yep. And that's a lot of people were talking about, Zootopia Land, but I think they're literally doing that with the Disney Forward in Disneyland. Yeah. They're doing a Zootopia Land, which I'm 100%.
Or at least like a ride or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's one that you could explore. Absolutely. So I know Zootopia 2, November 25th. I actually wrote down.
Wait, it's going to be a busy fall.
I know. This year we've got Thunderbolts coming up May 2nd, Lilo and Stitch May 23rd. Elio.
I believe so. Elio looks so good. It's the trailer that was before Snow White that I said was better than the movie.
June 20th. Fantastic Four, July 25th.
With frickin' what's his face?
Freakier Friday.
I want to see it.
August 8th.
Okay.
It's funny that there's some repetition here. There's like 10/10, 8/8. I'm not sure if those are just Fridays that there's happen to be Fridays.
If Freakier Friday did not come out on a Friday, I'd have some questions.
It's got to be on a Friday.
I'd be like, y'all, we know it.
That's another one we can get hyped for. And then Avatar, the third one.
Never seen Avatar.
No?
No. The blue people?
Yeah.
Nope, never seen it.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Never seen it. Love the ride.
Interesting.
See, probably would make more sense if I've seen the movie because I'll understand what I'm seeing.
I did not know these things about you.
Tron and Avatar, I gotta get on it. Yeah.
It's, I would say my overall opinion of it was it was kind of one of those groundbreaking movies that came out.
I remember that.
Where everyone was like, this is
cinema!
This is the experience of a lifetime. Plot? Yeah.
But the effects and everything I've heard are.
The most fantastic plot and honestly the most head scratching part of that whole movie is the unobtainium. It's my goodness, that in the writer's room, unobtainium was what we all came up with. I know you're screaming at me because it's you want rides to be every single ride, but
it is again what we're saying is that it is easier for us to sit back here. Yeah,
I'm spoiling it. Well, not really, but that's
I get the gist.
That's what the bad guys are after.
Oh yes. The
unobtainium, and so anyway, and I just
it is literally giving res resistant. What is it called? Smuggler's Run.
Oh, the coaxium.
Coaxium.
Yeah, get that coaxium. So it pulls me out of the movie a little bit just because it's you're on board with it, and then they bring up that, and you're like,
this is why we're here.
Come on, no, it's good though, and I liked the second one. It's hard to come up with even more. But I think that it does a good job. Okay. And I like the world too.
The world is beautiful.
I'm a sci-fi kind of person too. Yeah. So it's a unique take on a sci-fi world. And
your little Princess Land gives a little sci-fi, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
It's just a little out there, a little different.
Yeah, it's kind of, exactly. It's what if Garrett was in charge of the Disney princesses? Well, here's what I do. I would have them duke it out.
It was just, what was the title one more time? The battle title? Let's
go with the other one. Enchanted Alliance. No. Battle for the Kingdom.
Battle for the Kingdom is the title of this episode.
Grab your torch and pitchforks.
Me thinking the princesses are about to duke it out is wild.
I was thinking like, you know, Princess Fiona, right? She's a badass.
Not you comparing Cinderella or Elsa to Princess Fiona.
Uh-huh.
I mean, but honestly, you're not wrong.
You've seen Wreck-It Ralph too, though, right?
Yes.
So
long ago, though.
But
that scene with all the princesses.
Yes, in my mind, at the very end of the movie, all of the princesses kind of team up to save. They're like, "Oh my gosh, look, a strong man in need of our rescue," and I love it. It's fantastic. It's like, you know, role reversal. And I just love the way that they like all work together.
I like their like new personalities that come out.
Yes, exactly. And that was kind of my idea.
I do want them to look just like the original princesses though, because I know like the Wreck-It Ralph have
they're very
style,
animated.
You know, very animated. I do want to just see like, I keep saying Ariel, but I like her. Like I just want her, but like her outfit is just like an armor suit, you know? Yeah. I could see it. It's giving the Marvel crossover that we didn't ask for, but we need.
Now we need it.
See, that's like the theme of this. Nobody asked for this, except I would say the Wreck-It Ralph ride, the Wreck-It Ralph land, and then Atlantis. I feel like people have asked
I'm surprised that we both had that as our number one.
Number one. No, literally, that was crazy. This was fun.
Was it good?
This was good. And let us know if you guys have any, or like if you've thought about it. Because honestly, if we get the hype built up over this, maybe Disney will take some of our advice. And also, hope. I feel like it's kind of fun just to talk about like what the park can be. Obviously, we love what the park is now, but like it can grow. And Epic Universe, I think, is resetting the tone of what theme parks are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the best parts about loving the theme parks is imagining what the future 100%. Could look like. And it's like, oh, I remember when I worked there and the talk of the town was that Tomorrowland was going to be Galaxy's Edge. And it makes so much sense because Star Tours is already right there. And where I remember the everybody was talking about how where Autopia was going to be, it was going to be a ride like the speeder bikes on Endor and you know, through the trees, and that was going to be the ride. And so the imagining of, oh my gosh, that would be so cool to do that ride. So it's part of the fun. It's 100%. Absolutely like everybody has some great ideas and we want to see Disney thrive. And it's like, here's some ideas. So
there's things that people love.
Here's what the fans want.
Yeah.
So
I think Disney does storytelling the best out of all of them. I mean, love Epic Universe. Obviously, have not been. I think they're now on Disney's level, but that's what I mean is like if Disney is like they're taking these stories that already exist. They don't have to make up new stories. They just have to build upon it. I think it's a home run. And I
Slam dunk.
Just get Rise of the Resistance
just
and these lamps, and you don't gotta do much.
Nope. Listen,
you guys love ride overlays. All we're asking.
You've got the patents. Just do Rise every time.
How much was Rise gone? They're gonna be in debt.
You can already guess what the title of this podcast is gonna be called. Make every ride rise.
Make Rise. Just every
Rise again.
Rise again. Just every title of the ride is just going to have Rise in it. Mm-hmm. Rise of the Battle.
Rise of the Dreamborns.
Rise of the Kingdom. Rise of the Dreamborns. Rise of the Sugar Rush Racers. Mm-hmm. I see it. It's happening. Oh, God. What a time.
This was amazing.
It was a fun episode.
More dreaming to come.
More dreaming to come. Honestly, I think like every so often we need to do this. Just it like inspires new ideas. And maybe like it's like what entertainment shows we'd want or like something. I think this was really good. So
good deal.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode, and make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so then you guys are updated when we upload, and also make sure to send out your magical moments to our email so we can go ahead and take a look at them and share them at our next podcast.
Please. I was just going to say that. I'm glad you did. Magical moments. Yep. We'd love to see them.
Love them.
Love to hear them. Love to share them. Mm-hmm. I think that's what gets the park most hyped. I saw one, since we don't have one to read today, I'll go over it really quick, but I did see on TikTok a family that got Family of the Day on a Disney cruise line.
Ooh.
And I like watched the whole video. It was so cool. I did not know this thing existed, but I guess their Disney Cruise Line picks one family, and I think they upgrade their room from a regular to concierge, because at least in the video, one of the question that the cast member asked was, hey, are you in concierge? And they're like, no. Well, then they're like, okay, cool. So they make them family of the day, and they announce it to the entire like ship basically before they get to board, and the family is the first to board.
That's so
the family is the first to board, and then the whole ship is empty, and a cast member takes them around, and they get to tour it, and they're the first ones on it. So shout out to that person on TikTok who shared that magical
moment of the day.
That's the magical memory of this episode.
I love hearing those things that you don't even know that was even possible. Like, that just makes it even better. I love it.
Now I want to be.
Now I want to be the family of the day, guys. Disney, we don't ask for much. Club 33 membership, family of the day, media passes.
Yep. Make every ride rise. I'll take the family of the day.
Garrett will take the fall if everyone's like, this ride seems familiar.
And speaking of Disney Cruise Line, what if we put Rise of the Resistance on a Disney Cruise Line?
What if the water slide, hear me out, guys, is like Rise of the Resistance?
What if the new Disney Cruise Line was called Rise of the Disney Cruise?
Y'all.
Now I'm completely unhinged.
He's lost the plot. I mean, the plot, he didn't lose it. The plot is Rise.
I'm going to turn this off before we come up with more Rise of the Resistance Rise. God. But thank you so much for joining us. It's been a fun one today. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
See you later.